All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the 2020 Harvest Classic Virtual Rally. Thank you all so much for joining us this year. A lot of you are probably wondering, what the heck is a virtual rally? Well, stick around. We're finna find out.
This is it.
Hi, I'm Amy, and this is Scott.
Hey, y'all.
Thanks for joining us for the 18th annual Harvest Classic Rally.
We got a bunch of cool stuff lined up and really hope you have a great time helping us raise money for the Candlelighters. Thanks for coming.
Hey everybody, this year's Harvest Classic is going to be a virtual event. Jump online and let's help raise some money for the Candlelighters Childhood Cancer Foundation. This year's virtual event will have a lot of cool content, including a bike show, a silent auction, as well as some live music. The Harvest Classic virtual event will be live streamed October 17th from 1 to 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks for your support of the Harvest Classic, and we really look forward to seeing you back in Lukenbach in 2021.
Hey everybody, welcome to the 2020 version of the Harvest Classic. John here, looking forward to seeing everybody. I tell you, I don't know if you agree, but I'm sick of wearing these masks. So, because we're doing a virtual rally, these things can come off. We're looking forward to seeing everybody online and look forward to raising a lot of money for Candlelighters this year. See you on October 17th. Later. Bye.
Hi all, welcome to the 2020 Virtual Harvest Classic. I'm Laura and this is my friend Snickers, the original horsepower.
Hi, this is Tommy.
And Laura.
We're going to miss seeing y'all at the merch booth this year.
And we want to remind you, now is the only time to purchase your shirt for 2020. We won't be having them 2021, so you can't come to the merch booth and beg for them. So go ahead and go to the store and click your shirt size, and we'll get it to you as soon as we can.
What's the question you're going to miss the most?
Can I buy a red shirt?
Has anyone seen Russ?
I love your answers. Thank y'all. Cammy. I've been at Harvest Classic for as long as I can remember. I help by selling the merch. This year is going to be different though. And in my free time, I have been training Sombrero Cat here how to be in the Harvest Classic Fun Run. Stay safe, stay healthy, and don't forget to order your shirts. Bye y'all.
Hi, I'm Caleb Allison. I've been at the Harvest Classic Rally for 12 years, and I'm currently 11 years old. My first rally was when I was 4 months old. Make sure you get your t-shirts this year. I hope to see you next year.
Howdy.
Welcome to Harvest Classic 2020. Thanks for y'all's support.
Join us online at the Harvest Classic this year.
2020!
2020, the final frontier. These are the banners of Harvest Classic and our 20-year mission to prevent childhood cancer. We found a place to put these up this COVID year. Places? Our t-shirts have been to Vietnam and the South Pole on an ice mobile. Now, we boldly go to a location near you for this year's virtual fundraiser.
Hey y'all, it's Dan and Kathy from the Kitchen Crew.
Welcome to Harvest Classic 2020.
We wish we were in Lukenbach with y'all, doing good and playing with motorcycles, but this year we're just gonna have to do good and play with motorcycles apart from each other.
In the meantime, please give generously to hc2020.givesmart.com in support of the Candlelighters program.
Mama says, love y'all. Hope to see you soon.
We're gonna miss cooking for you this year.
Thanks for supporting Harvest Classic 2020.
We'll see y'all next year.
Hey guys, hope you're all staying safe and isolated like I am. I wish we could all be on Lukenbach, but this year's a little different than normal. So until we can, I hope you enjoy this year's COVID edition of the Harvest Classic.
Hey everybody, sorry we can't be there in person this year, but know that we're all trying to keep everybody as safe and happy and healthy as they can, and hope everybody is able to ride their bikes when they can, and if not, play with Legos like I do.
Hey everybody, it's Lauren from the Harvest Classic. I am
Really excited for what we've got to present to you this year. It's not the same as a regular rally. Like, nobody asked me last night if they could jump their fire pit on their Vespa or if I'd ever seen a reverse burnout. So there's that. The thing that hasn't changed is we're here to, all of us, to help the kids with cancer and their families through Candlelighters. So all that said, we had a great time making it. I hope you have an even better time watching it. And thanks for your support throughout the years. Bye now.
It's Paul and...
Hi friends, it's Sasha.
Hey, we've been cooking that barbecue for you every year since the rally began. Most of it has been out of this one pecan tree right here in our yard. Had another branch volunteer for next year's barbecue. So even though we're not cooking for you this year, I want to let you know that we're thinking of you, missing you, and getting ready for next year.
Hello, and welcome to the COVID edition of the Harvest Classic Rally. My name is Don. I'm very disappointed we're not riding trials at the rally this year, but I'm really looking forward to today's online event. So thank you for participating in the 18th Harvest Classic Rally, and thank you for your support for the families battling childhood cancer. I hope you enjoy the show.
Hi y'all, welcome to the Harvest Classic.
Hi, we know that there are a lot of families battling childhood cancer in the middle of this pandemic, and they need our help now more than ever.
And that's the passion behind the rally. So thanks for joining us. Have fun. Hope we can get together face to face again soon. And thanks again.
Howdy y'all. Greetings from San Francisco. You are in what is hopefully soon-ish going to be the workshop in my new house. Just wanted to say, gonna miss all of you. Gonna miss selling tickets. Gonna miss campfire, barbecue, drive-in movie, greeting everyone while we're signing them in the morning. But primarily, just gonna miss the people. It feels weird to have made every single event except one, and that was for my wedding. And with everything going on, it makes sense why we can't have it this year, but it is disappointing. But as one of my friends that I brought with me from San Francisco once said, it's not about the bike show, it's not about Lukenbach, it's not about the barbecue. It's a little about the barbecue, but it's about the people. The Harvest Classic Rally is one of the best events I have ever had the pleasure of being associated with, and I want to thank everyone that's in the staff, and especially Russ, because I will go back to it every single year that I am at all able. Anyhow, thanks for coming and seeing this video. See y'all next year.
Hey everybody. First of all, we could not have gotten this done with our fantastic production team, Steve Kahn, Rebecca Cunningham, Robert Pandya, and big thanks to Doug Siddons for hosting it, and Scott Steves and Amy Trocchio behind the scenes. They're the folks who are making this fantastic. Thank you very much.
We didn't really know how we were going to do this virtual event, and we knew we wanted to do something different since we couldn't hold the live event. But we started scratching our heads and looking into it, and little by little we put an ace production team together. And so with a little luck, this is going to be a good, fun event for everybody. So thanks so much for joining. So we have a lot going on. There's the live stream element, and then also on the GiveSmart site, we have an auction that is running throughout the live stream. It's a silent auction, and the auction closes at 3:45. So go ahead, while you're watching the live stream, go to the GiveSmart site, check out the auction, bid on the items. We've got a lot of really good items. We've got a mini bike with a sidecar rig. We've got a really cool custom made quilt. We've got a bunch of stuff. So go big for the kids. This is all about fundraising and raising money for the Candlelighters Childhood Cancer Foundation.
And there's also very important aspect of the live stream is there's a secret drinking game. And once you realize what the game is, you got to catch up. So be ready and pay attention. So
we're not going to share all the rules on it, but you got to pay attention and it will pay off. And remember, everyone's a winner in this game.
Except your liver.
Yeah, pace yourself.
John Lincecum, he's having a harvest watch party right now and he can't wait for the live stream to begin. So he's in luck.
And hopefully the live stream has begun at this point and he's able to follow along. So, what's next, guys? All right, so you can bid on the auction items by going to hc2020.givesmart.com. You have to register and everything, but once you register, you can go to the items page. If you're watching on YouTube, a really cool thing is you can bid on your smartphone, so you can have the YouTube experience on your big screen. You can bid on your smartphone. Remember, an auction bid is a promise to pay if you win the auction. That's why we ask everyone to register and have your credit card on hand before bidding. So go hard for the kids.
And if you need help, you can reach out to VR support at harvestclassic.org. So virtual rally support, VR support at harvestclassic.org, and we'll take care of you.
Awesome. So next, we usually have a trials event as part of the Harvest Classic. And the trials event started out, I think it was on year 2, wasn't it, that we incorporated trials?
Year 1 was just like show up.
Yeah, years 1 was just,
hope that
yeah.
nothing bad happened.
Yeah, but year 2 we had our first trials event, and it was sponsored by the Central Texas Trials Association, which is the local Austin trials riding group that's been advocating for keeping Emma Long Park open for motorcycles, as well as hosting all sorts of trials, culture, and competition around Central Texas. And they've always been a part of the Harvest Classic Rally. And then the last couple of years, we've really upped our game. And in last year, we actually had a pro-level trials event called the Super Trial. And that's what this video is. It's a compilation of a lot of really cool footage from last year's Super Trial. So hope
My great uncle Bob was a railroad engineer.
My great uncle Bob was a railroad
for
engineer.
50 years
Big
before he
trains for
retired.
almost 50 years.
Went to see him
before
after he retired. I said, "Great Uncle Bob."
Went to see him after he retired.
In
I
your
said,
50
"Great
year
Uncle
career,
Bob,
how many
in
trains
your
did you
50-year
have
career, how many
derail?"
trains did you have
He
just
said, "You know, I'm not
derail?"
sure. Hard
He
to
said,
keep
"You know,
track.
I'm not sure. Hard to keep track."
All right.
So really exciting update on the auction, the number 417, the auction bike package from Common Motor. Bids are up to $25.50 already. If you've ever thought that you might want to do a vintage bike, style it for your own wants, this is a great package for you. It includes advice from the crew and $500 gift certificate for customizing your new ride. So hope to see you, one of you guys riding it out to the rally next year.
Definitely. And we also have a really cool short video that tells more about that package, which is a really cool package, so check it out. You know, one of the things that people always love about the rally, including the crew, is the food. You know, we've got the Saturday night barbecue tradition, and that's when our food crew, you know, works all night to cook the brisket, and we serve it up after the auction and raffle at the rally. But you may not know that, you know, all that food over the years has been donated to us. We've barely bought any food, which has really helped us raise a lot of money.
Really, like early on, first, second year,
Yeah.
Magnolia Cafe
Mhm.
and Opal Divines both stepped up huge and really made a gigantic difference to the rally experience. If you've ever enjoyed some juicy brisket or anything else, it probably came from Magnolia and Opal Divines.
Yeah, I mean, Opal's gives us like 750 pounds of brisket a year. Anytime that, okay, I'll simple math, times 10 years, that's 7,500. Add another 5 years, that's, so they're like over 10,000 pounds of meat.
Five tons of brisket.
5 tons of brisket. Thanks, Opals. We love you guys.
That'd be a great band name. 5 tons of brisket.
Yeah, that's good. And then the Magnolia, everything else. The beans, the potatoes, all the vegetables, because it's not just the Saturday night dinner. That's what most rally attendees care about. But we got to keep the crew fed all weekend too. You know, Napoleon said an army marches on the strength of his stomach. And it's true. We learned it the first year because we tried to exist on sausage wraps for 3 days. It just didn't work out well. So we've got this ace food crew. So we've got Paul, Sasha, Mirabella, Jet, Niels, Kathy, and Arna Sostrip. That's the Sostrip clan who comes and brings it.
Mara, Israel, Dan and Kathy Brown, Scabby and Smurf.
Of course, David Meduzia and Heather Bailey and Kirk Gardner, or Grandner.
Dan Cook, One Arm Ray.
Kate Bellinger, Mark and Diddy Sawyer.
Jerry and Jeff Edmondson.
Aaron and Amy Strong. Stand strong, Aaron. We know you're in a battle right now.
Ruthless Wells and Christian and Claude Chapman all the way from Germany. And without that killer crew helping us march on our stomachs, where would we be?
That's true. But there's more. There's Andy Simmons and the whole Eric Spill family who comes. And in fact, Eric Spill made us a dishwashing trailer last year, which was a game changer. We got Chris Milam and the Spud Queens cooking them up. So what we're trying to say is we got a whole crew that's devoted nothing but to food. And we thank you on behalf of everyone who's attended the rally. Thanks for keeping us fed. Really appreciate you.
You've probably eaten some of the food, but maybe you've never heard about them.
That's right.
So,
we got an auction update. So our auction item number 410 is a Ducati gift certificate for $500 from Ducati Austin. We've already got a flurry of bidding on this gift certificate, so go big on it.
And the mini bike with the sidecar had a couple of new bids on it in the last couple of minutes. I'm here to tell you that thing is a hoot.
No, honestly, it will scare you. You will feel fear in your heart if you throttle that thing up to top speed.
Oh, well, no, okay, yeah. Because I had nothing but giggles, but I was judicious on the
just
loud
the top end rush hadn't kicked in yet.
Yeah, sure.
Because Travis Tractor put a new cylinder head on that thing for us, and it freaking goes.
When it gets on the pipe.
Okay, one more auction item update real quick. Item number 408 is this beautiful quilt made from various T-shirts, Harvest Classics over the past few years. And it was made by Jimmy Koffel, who is a longtime friend of the rally. And the quilt, oh, there it is. I mean, look at this thing. In the upper left-hand corner, you have the one of my favorite shirt designs, which is the Japanese Imperial flag shirt. You've got some red shirts in there. And then in the lower left-hand corner, you've got a really early Harvest Classic shirt. And what this doesn't even convey is the quality of the quilt. It's heavy backing material. It's handmade. Jimmy's family has a rich tradition of quilting, and he's taken up the banner. So this is really a cool quilt item. So please bid it up. We've got a couple more updates. Auction item number 442 is a sweet Arai Isle of Man helmet donated by Tucker Power Sports.
And then item number 419, a medium yellow Simpson N50 helmet, which is like the motocross style, really sharp.
Vintage stuff. It's kind of a vintage flavor. Yeah. All right, awesome. Let's keep it rolling with some jokes.
Hayden, we're going to have to talk to Rusty about hanging out at the Harvest Classic.
Why is that?
Well, I caught him down at the KFC. He was trying to see a chicken strip.
So, there's a lot of cool motorcycle events going on in Austin, one of which is the Eastside Classic. They do a lot of fundraising for Austin Pets Alive. But, Austin has a super strong motorcycle culture. We love the Eastside Classic. We love going every year. And Aaron's one of the guys at the Eastside Classic, and he made this cool video for us. A lot of the stuff you're going to see in this live stream is kind of like, what do you call it, crowdsourced?
Yeah, DIY.
Yeah, DIY. So people have made cool stuff, sent it to us, and we've incorporated it into the live stream. So here's a really cool video by Aaron Buck, and enjoy it.
Yeah? Are we doing it? We're rolling. Okay. What did I say last time? So, yeah. Hey, this is a video for the Harvest Classic. We miss you this year, but the good news is I get to bring a bike that's not running. So, here is a 1956 BMW R69, currently in process. That's the motor, that's the bike. One day, they will be one.
All right, I like that.
How long has the Harvest Classic been going?
I don't know, a long time. Probably like.
And it's definitely
Close to-
Classic
oh, this is-
definitely becomes before hand built.
No, this is going to be number 18 for them.
Of their Harvest Classic.
Yeah.
All right, and Eastside would be on 11.
Yeah.
We'll think on that.
So this old girl has at least 5 different paint jobs from 5 different lives. But I have rebuilt the wheels, relaced and polished the rims. The bike has this cool Earl's fork, which, makes it kind of neat. It's also got a couple of other cool features like the Spark Advance lever on the handlebars, and it's got the side toolbox. Other stuff is the bike has all new rubber all around. It is going to have a 6-volt system like it did originally. Replaced all the fasteners, so all that stuff is brand new. And then the suspension's all been fully rebuilt. So it should run and drive really well.
Rusty was over there trying to help Henrietta find her egg.
Why's that?
She mislaid it.
Each year, more than 15,000 parents will hear the words,
your child has cancer. Life-changing medical diagnoses like cancer cause financial and emotional distress on a family. Childhood cancer comes with added challenges. Parents feel overwhelmed, struggle to navigate medical bills, and worry about getting appropriate school resources, all while trying to stay strong for their child. Through home-based and telehealth visits, Any Baby Can's Candlelighters team guides families in figuring out school, insurance, medical coverage, and so much more.
I was diagnosed with medulloblastoma, a very dangerous brain tumor. I was little, and even though I don't remember too many details, I have vivid memories of how everybody was there to help, support, and flash their best smiles 24/7.
We know that when a child is diagnosed with cancer, the whole family is affected. That's why we prioritize counseling and coping skills for all family members through diagnosis, treatment, and post-treatment or bereavement, as well as financial assistance. We also have a camp just for siblings to help process feelings of sadness, jealousy, and guilt. Campers benefit from meeting other kids who understand what it is like to have a brother or sister diagnosed with cancer. There is no greater fear or sadness than seeing your child struggle. With Any Baby Can by their side, families feel they have a trusted partner. They feel supported. They feel valued.
Any Baby Can helped me and my family regain normalcy in our lives.
Any Baby Can provides comfort, hope, and respite to families with children who are coping with cancer. We are here so that no family goes through their journey with childhood cancer alone.
So that, folks, is really what it's all about. We do the Harvest Classic to raise money for the Candlelighters program of Any Baby Can. That was also what fueled us to have the virtual rally this year. It was the thought that, there's families out there who are dealing with childhood cancer right now in this same pandemic. And we wanted to be there for them. So that's the goal, to raise more money for the Candlelighters by having our live stream event. So our next spot is really cool. And I hope you guys can hear that in the background because it's a Vincent motorcycle. But if you can't, you'll get a chance in a minute. The next spot is a really cool spot. It's featuring Tim Miller, who is a local machinist, welder, and fabricator who runs a fabrication shop called Austin Guardian. He's a very skilled trade craftsman. And one of the things that really struck me when we were shooting this video with Tim was that this guy really knows how to do it all. He paints, he welds, he fabricates, he has a lathe and a mill, boring bar. So everything you're about to see here, he's really done it himself. And to me, it was really inspirational to see somebody with a nice shop who really could get down to the details. And so one of our longtime friends and rally supporters, Steve Kahn, and I went and visited Tim Miller, and we put this little piece together. So check out Tim's shop, and I think you'll like what you see.
Hi, my name is Tim Miller. The name of my business is Austin Guardian. I do metal fabrication and specialty welding. I've been in business for 30 plus years. Started out doing ornamental ironwork and have evolved to precision welding, and the motorcycle restoration is a hobby of mine. About 30 years ago, picked up a Super Hawk, and since then just started acquiring different makes and models from the early 60s and mid 60s. My main focus is 250s and 305s. CB72, CB77s, and that's what I enjoy. I've done quite a few restorations. Got about 20 or so bikes that I've restored. I like the styling of the early Hondas because of the chrome, and I just really like the design. I think Honda put a lot of effort into getting itself established in the motorcycle industry in the 60s.
Do the Scramblers use the same motors as the Hawk?
Yes, exactly the same motor. These are the first dual sport models. They came out in '62. Has some more suspension in it, so it allows you to go off-road. And has the up pipes, skid plate. These bikes all have the rare aluminum race kit tank that Honda offered for them. So I de-seam them and straighten them out and polish them. There's over 100 hours just in each gas tank, and easily another couple hundred hours doing the whole project.
Wow.
Yeah, so I don't keep track of that time.
Yeah, that's probably good.
Yes. So these are some early Scrambler aluminum race kit tanks, and I'll unseam these things. I'll grind this weld out all the way around them and separate them. Once I get these tanks apart, then I have full access to the inside of them. Unfortunately, this one also had baffling in it that I had to remove to get access, but this thing was very hammered. But this is a very rare CR 72 gas tank. But after you get these things apart, you just go in there and mark those areas, and then we take hammers and dollies and flatten them out, and then go in there and block them out. It's a lot of time spent to get them straight. The blue bike is a very early '61 CB72. They only made about 3,000 of this particular model. It has a unique race kit seat on it, and that's Honda's unique counterclockwise, clockwise speedometer tachometer. The red line is 9,000 RPM. These models are the first 100-mile-an-hour production motorcycles. The red one is also a '61 CB72. It's a little later model, about the 1500th bike built.
Tim, a lot of people will look at this Honda Hawk motor and say that looks a lot like a Laverda motor.
Yes.
Which came first, Laverda or Honda?
The Honda came first. I don't know the whole story other than I've heard that Laverda bought this motorcycle and reverse engineered it to make it into the Laverda as far as the engine or the cylinder head and top end.
What's this one on the bench?
This is my test bike that I use for designing internal big bore pistons and race cams and that type of thing. So this one has basically all the same cosmetic stock features on it, but internally the motor is highly modified.
What are some of the things you did to the motor?
It has a Harman Collins roller cam in it, 66 millimeter big bore high compression pistons, improved oiling system, double row primary chain. This one is 11-to-1 compression.
It's a great looking bike. And what year is this?
It's a '63 CB72, but instead of having 250 pistons in it, it has 66 millimeter aftermarket pistons that I had developed for it.
That one sounds beautiful. It's not as sharp as the open pipe.
Right. It really helps the down low end torque,
Yeah.
having some restriction in there.
Yeah. What's this?
This is an oil filter. It's remote that I've designed.
Oh, that's cool.
These motors generally didn't have cartridge type filter in them. They had a sludge filter. In order to capture all the particles primarily off the clutch, really need a cartridge style filter. So that's what I built for this one. I ran it through an oil cooler too. So you can do some endurance riding with this system.
What level of the machine work, the sheet metal fabrication, do you do it all in-house?
Yes, everything in-house. The only thing I outsource is the chrome plating and the zinc plating. This is a stock piston for a 250. And then this is a 64 millimeter, which makes it into a 350. And this is a 66 millimeter, which is what the one on the stand has. and it makes it into a 370cc. And these original ones, even though they have an extreme dome on them, but it's such a small bore, because that's a 54 millimeter bore, is 9-to-1 compression.
Yeah, I can just see that the skirt height is a lot, longer on the stock pistons and a lot shorter on these. They're almost like a slipper piston type of design.
Yes, yes.
So that piston is your own design?
Yes.
Great looking shop you have here, Tim.
Thank you.
Oh, it's a stack of cylinder heads over here, just waiting for...
Yes, those have the cast iron skulls in them. Those are 250 heads. So one of the downfalls on these liners were never put in very tight, so the heat transfer was poor with them. So a lot of times I'll copper plate this outside of the sleeve. Originally Honda only put about a thousandths or so interference here. Well, after the many years of cycling, going hot to cold, the aluminum actually stretches out through time. So then you lose the heat transfer because the sleeve is just floating in there, not getting very tight. And when it heats up, the aluminum actually grows even faster, even more. And so what I do is I send these out and have them copper plated, build them up, and they'll usually put on 4 or 5 thousandths of copper. And then I'll have to hone the cylinder out just slightly enough to get about 3 thousandths interference. And then I will use liquid nitrogen, submerge this in liquid nitrogen, and make it shrink 4 or 5 thousandths real easily. And then I'll heat this up about 400 F, and then it just falls right in, drops in, and then you're going to have really good heat transfer from there on.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Because otherwise they will not survive any high RPM for very long. They'll seize the piston, and everyone thinks it's a lubrication problem, but it's the heat transfer.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Because the heat transfer is only going through the rings into this and out this.
Yeah.
Right.
And if there's even a slight air gap between the liner and the head, it doesn't transfer the heat.
Correct. Yeah. But a lot of people just go in and, well, these are simple little 2-cylinder motors. We're going to restore this easy enough. But then they don't realize all these temperamental things about them that can prevent them from surviving very long.
Yeah. What are we looking at here, Tim?
It's a stock versus a racing crankshaft. These are crankshafts out of a 250 305 motor. This will be a stock one. This one here is a racing crankshaft. They've been turned down, take about 4.5 pounds off these crankshafts, and then lighten the rods up. This is how we used to do them, take the stock rod and lighten them up. And then Franco Capellini developed these rods that are billet, much stronger and more precise. And I'm doing a couple crankshafts with these in them next. So we press these cranks together, true them, put them in the lathe, turn them, and then I'll take them back apart to reassemble them with the rods and then re-true them. The mass is so much smaller, it's going to rev up faster. But also when you decelerate, let out of the throttle, it actually slows down quicker. So flat track guys like that too. They run very smooth at higher RPM versus the bigger counterweights. Start getting a little rough. Yeah, it's passion driven, that's for sure.
I love to see it. That's what I love about it. It's like the gearhead passion that keeps us all up at night.
That's right.
Hey, Virgil, you know why the chicken crossed the road?
No.
To prove to the armadillo it could be done.
You know what we need? We need a bike show. That's what's missing.
It is what's missing.
Where's Cliff? Anybody seen Cliff?
Wait, I hear the dulcet tones. Hey, Cliff.
All right, we can have a bike show now. Woohoo! Clifton is here.
There y'all.
All right, we good.
Good.
Okay, so,
Hey, buddy.
we knew it wouldn't be a Harvest Classic without a bike show. And we thought, well, how can we have a bike show with the virtual rally? And we kind of just winged it. We said, anybody who wants to be in the bike show, send us your entrance. We'll put it on a PowerPoint. Everyone can look at the bikes. And it kind of worked. We got some really cool entries this year. So, so we're going to go through them. We're going to talk a little bit about the bikes that were entered in the show.
Yeah, it's amazing that that we had this many bikes show up. Hold on, take this thing. It's amazing we had this many bikes show up and join us online because this has not been done before. So the fact that somebody's willing to participate to help us achieve a goal, to help the kids, it's really remarkable. We had people that entered in from California, from Minneapolis, all across the country. I mean,
Yeah.
It was really a great showing of support.
Yeah.
So we can't thank you enough.
Yeah, thanks for sending all your bikes pictures in. And one of the things that I really liked, Cliff, was reading the stories about each bike.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and there's a wide range of bikes too.
Well, but there is every year. There's just not quite as many of them this year.
Right.
But every year there's like a bike I've never seen before or
Exactly.
only heard of.
You never know what's going to come out of the woodwork when we have a show. And it's fantastic in that regard. I mean, it's one of the things I look forward to every year with the show is I'm probably going to see something I've never seen before.
Yeah.
And have a chance to really put my eyeballs on it and walk all the way around it and really observe it. So this year, having the photos really, it was wonderful to see the bikes we saw in the competition was really spectacular.
You don't get
really
the
want to put my
aromatic.
eyeballs on it.
Yeah.
I mean,
You also don't get the aromatic
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah,
You
true.
know,
The aromatics, that's right.
One of the things that makes the bike show great is that the categories are by year and not by, Italian bikes and British bikes and all that kind of stuff. And so that's one of the things that brings the variety up. I think it brings the quality way up. And, it's one of the many reasons why it's fantastic.
Totally.
Well, I think that what that does is it offers the opportunity for everyone that comes in, that participates in our shows, that comes in, walks around, whether or not they vote, whether or not they really do anything except come, is to walk around and you can see the evolution of the motorcycle as it goes from the very beginnings, and you can see the different factories and what they were producing against each other during that time period. And it represents a time period.
That's interesting.
And
I
then-
never really thought of it that way, but it's kind of like the eras of
And then
motorcycling.
you can watch it evolve.
Like
there's
the guy who brought that Scott, with the bike that the very first year that had the
With the
leather
leather
poncho-
strap?
leather
Yeah.
poncho
Pope,
strap.
the Pope,
And,
Yeah.
Nail, and,
it's just like a bicycle with a
Yeah.
it was.
He had to light his headlight, literally light it with a match.
Yes, yeah,
Inside of a little
it's
lantern box.
unsettling little- then you can walk around our field and walk every year. It's different, but it's like going to a museum. You can walk through it. You can see the early stuff. You can watch it evolve. And you can see the evolution from all steel to aluminum to plastic to ABS to carbon fiber. You can watch the
one-sided
transition.
swing arms.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can watch the tire technology even if you're really into that. I mean, it's like it's
a bike nerd's dream.
yeah, and it also allows a very inclusive show because it's impossible to say, well, this is a British, Italian, Spanish, whatever. But if you do it by year, you get all of them. It's a worldwide. It's international.
There's one other element about our bike show that is really unique, and it's carried over from the Roadrunners bike show, which is everything is popular vote judged. So it's not this year. This year was a panel of experts. But usually it's people's choice, and you get some surprises.
You really do. You really do. You never know.
Yeah, you never you never know. Yeah.
We all know.
Anyone can win.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's take a look at some of this year's entries and really see what we got. Thanks again, everyone, for supporting the bike show.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
And in the classes, even though they're small, they were very, very competitive. There were a lot of unique, wonderful machines that showed up in each one of them. I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
we spent some time, definitely spent some time looking at each one of these to make our decision.
You know, I always love the flying squirrel, with the water-cooled two-stroke monoshock. I mean,
Right, and
ahead of its time. I mean, unbelievable.
He logs this thing.
Yeah, it's
I
great to see Mark.
down the road at 80 plus miles an hour. And,
Yeah.
I mean, that thing screams.
Yeah, he's riding it well. What else we got here?
Let's see. I think we've got an Indian coming up. Okay. We have an Indian coming up. in just a second, that I believe was a
West Coast something.
West Coast Racing. Brid over at West Coast Racing has been doing a renovation on it. And
Are they located in Austin?
They're in Austin. They're over on the east side. He's an ex-racer. Actually, I think he still races, but he's a spectacular.
Such a great guy.
Really nice guy. And
Yeah.
I've had him work on some of my stuff. He's
Hey, there it
very
is.
detailed, and he
That's
has
a
taken this
beautiful
bike,
bike.
which was
A literal barn
a
find?
literal barn find. I mean, it sat in a barn and was brought out, and Britt was put responsible to bring it back up to life. And I think he's done a wonderful job of it.
I always love those Chiefs.
But then compare it to the guy who rides the Chief that his dad rode in the, that there's like a 1930, he's got like a
Oh, you're thinking of this Excelsior. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excelsior.
Yeah.
He didn't compete this year.
Yeah, but
Same era.
He always
Yeah.
lets give people rides and everything. But this Chief's wonderful. And this one was a surprise. It's a 1932 Douglas Mastiff, which I've never even heard of a Mastiff.
No, me neither.
But the story behind it was my father rode this motorcycle around the world solo in 1932. So the story behind this bike is just fantastic. And he did the whole adventure. He's got a book about it called The One Man Caravan. And then he went on and he was an inventor, and he was able to help the servicemen in World War II. I mean, I think that this bike is a spectacular, unique Douglas.
Is it forward and backward?
Yeah, and it's still in the
horizontally
film.
opposed.
Yeah,
Versus
just
the
imagine it.
BMW.
It's a BMW sideways.
It's a sideways BMW. Even look at the big old flywheel hanging out there. All right, so the next class we have. Oh no, we got one
this
more.
is one
Oh
more.
yeah.
We have a 1950 Velocet Mac. This is
Submitted
our
by
buddy
Vinny.
Vincenzo.
Yeah.
Vinny built this, and it's a
Bitsa.
It's a Bitsa, but when you see it, it bits together so
Oh, yeah.
perfectly, and like all of Vincenzo's stuff, it just built to the T. I mean, it's done with every immaculate detail. All the I's dotted, all the T's crossed. I mean, it's just it's stunning.
It's cool when you see a Bitsa and it's Bitsa bike made from the same mark throughout the different years. Like if you look at his, he's got a 50 frame and a 36 fork, but they're still Velocet.
Right, and the fact that the engine was powered a midget racing car in the 50s. I mean, that's it's awesome. I mean,
That's what do they call it?
Providence.
Providence.
Yeah, Providence.
Yeah.
It's got Providence.
it's got a Bitsa Providence, which is great. Okay, so then the next class, this was our biggest class.
This was vintage, yes.
Well, we had to combine it a lot.
We had to combine some this year. It just made sense.
Yeah.
Next year we'll open it back up, and everybody's there, and
Yeah.
give everybody hugs.
So
and
there's
high fives
just like huge amount of diversity in this class.
and it always is. I mean,
Yeah.
every year in the bike show, this period is usually the largest.
Yeah.
I mean, every decade, or we have had to split them into every 5 years.
Yeah.
And they're massive quality.
Especially in that early 70s.
Yeah,
just
late 60s,
boom.
early 70s. This is a Yamaha. It's a Big Bear Scrambler. Yamaha's kind of enduro, and it's a fantastic example of it.
It's like poof, it's a scrambler. We put a high pipe on it, and boom, it's a dirt bike. It's
Right.
like it's not as specialized, not quite as specialized as today's dirt bike.
Exactly the same thing. They have high pipes
Yeah.
in the dirt.
Okay, let's go ride it in the dirt.
This is a 1952 Vincent touring wrap heat, and this is a very rare Vincent.
Is that Chinese red?
Chinese red, and they did very, very few of these Chinese red ones.
Yeah.
This one is an all original numbers matching. According to his notes, the only part not original of the bike is a clutch lever, which he found in OS, New Old Stock.
That's amazing.
And it has won some really prestigious awards, and it is a lovely, lovely Vincent.
It really is. It's just breathtaking. Now, this is kind of the opposite end of the spectrum, though, because here we have a CB175 rescued from Craigslist, brought back to life by Dave Sutton, who's one of our rally sponsors. And it's a cool little bike.
It's great. It's a fantastic motorcycle.
I wonder how many people got into motorcycling because of this bike or
Tons.
siblings.
You meet the nicest people.
This is the thing that so many of our peers and it started. And this is what got them to fall in love with motorcycling.
This kind of reminds me of Scott Steves. bike he had in high school when I met him, the CB200.
Yeah, the
The
gold.
silver one. It was, was it gold? Silver, yeah. But it had a sticker on it that said, if you value your life as much as I value this bike, don't fuck with it. It was awesome.
Okay, we have a nice little 305 CD Super Hawk. I've had Super Hawks in the past, and they're just brilliant little machines. They were capable of beating the Triumphs of their time, the twins. They were a revolution. The coming of age of the Japanese motorcycle.
Totally, as we just saw by Tim Miller's shop, the Austin Guardian Tour, where he specializes in these bikes.
Right.
But this one has such a cool story because it belonged to Austin legend James Garner.
Yeah.
And he died, what's it, 2 years ago, 3 years
A
ago?
little bit, yeah, 3 or 4 years ago. He was one of our neighbors.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
He lived near where Russ and I were living.
Mm-hmm.
And you could hear him before he was retired. You could hear him tuning his motorcycles in the neighborhood.
That dude rode the beans out of anything he ever owned.
He did.
It was crazy. He was extremely frugal too.
Yeah, and this, yeah.
He
Honda's the perfect
reconditioned his racing tires with oil and a blowtorch. And if you can tell me how that's going to work out well, I don't really get it, but it was a ritual and he did it. But anyway, this is and it's a really cool story because it's passed on to his
one of his friends.
Yeah, Charles Stab, who's a huge rally supporter.
This is a Norton High Rider. Norton decided to join in on the chopper craze.
Has there ever been a cooler chopper made? Maybe.
I don't know. I kind of like the Triumph. What is it, the Sunset Triumph they did?
They had a version?
Yeah, Jumbo did one.
This thing is just,
this
what is that?
factory bike.
Look at those bars.
They basically did the same things as the Scrambler. They went, well, I guess we want a
Yeah,
chopper.
yeah.
King and queen and high bars.
Yeah, a seat and bars and boom, it's a chopper.
Okay.
Okay, this one though, really what I was talking about with People's Choice,
Yes.
how you never really know how it's going to work out. Because did you recognize this bike from a couple years ago?
I've seen this one.
Well, remember when they entered the oval piston? What is it, the NR750?
Yes.
So they got second place.
Right.
And if I remember right, this one is what got first place.
This is the one that beat
I
the
mean,
oval piston?
I think so. Now,
Well,
this is a
anyhow,
cool
this is
bike.
a fantastic
Yeah, it's a super
machine.
cool bike. Yeah, I mean,
twin
yeah.
650 Honda. These were
To ride them is to love them.
right, and people loved them. They raced them, and they were a very very popular motorcycle. And this looks to be a great
No, look,
example.
it is 2018 Harvest Classic winner. That's the year
Yeah.
that
Okay.
he beat the NR750
How funny.
oval piston Honda, which is like $100,000 bike. But
This is a real nice example of a BMW R100T. Very clean. Looks
Yep.
like it's loved. Looks like it's ridden.
it's clearly loved. And these bikes will run forever and do anything you want, and they're
miles, I think,
infinitely
Forever,
rebuildable.
ever, and ever, yeah.
You can rebuild anything that ever goes wrong on a Boxer. You gotta love it.
This is a 71 CD750 that's been modified to be as it was modified in the 70s when they were young and hooligans and
Like has a Kirker header on
has
it.
a
Yeah,
Kirker
it
and
looks like
black
it-
bars, and it's a nice clean. Looks like a fun inline four. I bet you it howls.
And those bikes sound good, and that looks like a Bassani 4-into-1 header. I don't know if it is, but
No, I
those
think
things are
they're-
crazy loud.
Yeah, I like the 4-in-1s there.
Hey, speaking of
72
scramblers.
Yeah, 72 CL 350 reminds me of his son Joe's
Yeah,
bike. that
speaking
we
of
would-
crazy loud.
Yeah, crazy loud. Except Joe pulled the mufflers off it. I
Yeah.
think. But yeah, at 60 miles an hour, he was
Yeah,
deafening.
it may not be fast, but it made babies cry.
But this is a great scrambler. This is
Oh.
John's Zundop. I mean,
Yeah.
John loves Zundops. And
He-
this is a great example.
Huge shout out to John also, because he really stepped forward this year and created a couple of films for us that we haven't played yet. But when you play them, when you see them, you'll be blown away, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. He's very talented, and he loves the Zundops. I mean, I think this is
East
not his
Germany,
only example.
East Germany, right?
East German.
East German.
Yeah. And another cool Beamer.
Another cool Beamer,
Yeah.
Lester Mags. Probably the prettiest blue I've
Yeah.
seen on a BMW.
It's just a stylish
It's
bike.
a very clean, lovely machine.
And those panners, you could just put your gear in it and hit the road. Nice.
Going back again to the
Yeah.
what got people into motorcycling, watching the Japanese motorcycle industry just kind of take the motorcycle world by storm. This was one of them. It was one of the, they made hundreds of thousands of these things.
Yeah.
And they were so ubiquitous that they were so many of them were left just to fall to pieces. And this is a really nicely restored example. It's very clean. It's got the chrome side tank, the high pipe looks original. I mean, it's a really nice CD 110.
It's crazy when you ride these little Hondas with I guess they're girder style front forks or whatever that leading link is, but like when you brake with the front brake, it goes up.
Yeah.
It doesn't have fork dive. It actually goes up.
And it's a pressed frame. There's no tube.
Yeah.
It's just a pressed metal frame.
It's monocoque.
This is one of our longtime rally bike show participants. Butch has always brought fantastic equipment to our show for everybody to enjoy, and it's a gold star. It's one of those dream
legendary
machines. People love these. His story talks about when he was growing up. He's in Oklahoma City, and he would take it out on Friday night and race all the twins and beat them with his goldies. It's a fun little story, and it's a gorgeous blue gold star. And I really appreciate Butch entering the show with it, and thanks. Another stunning example of a
gentleman's ride.
A gentleman's ride. This is a R69S. Is this a /2?
Well, that everybody calls these bikes /2s, but there were actually a whole bunch of iterations of them. There was the R60 US, the R69S, the R50/2, R60/2, but they're kind of commonly referred to as /2s. But the R69S is the premier /2. When you think of like a Earl's Forked high performance BMW pre/5 era, the R69S is what it comes to mind.
And this says it's a full nut and bolt restoration. Every single part of it's been fixed and restored and brought back to better than perfect. It's gorgeous.
It's really classy. Oh, and here you go. Here's the R60 US. So this is another kind of iteration of the /2. This one blew me away when I saw it because it's got this really sporty fairing on it that actually has a lot of coverage. And you know what I thought when I saw this? I was thinking Rocky Horror Picture Show when those guys are riding up to the observatory at night to, party with Frankenfurter.
Yeah.
They were on these bikes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Your memory's better than mine.
Well, it may not be accurate, but
that's fine.
Yeah.
The fairing is a historic fairing from a race across country. So Honda CB360T, another one of those.
I think I had one in high school.
Yes,
really?
You did. It was black.
Yep.
I remember it.
The Kickstarter return spring was on the weak side. No, it would
what?
It would drift out. Yeah. And so I remember more than once pulled up to like a stoplight, put my foot down, and that starter go up my pants leg.
Nice. Did you fall over?
You can't not. Yeah. Oh yeah.
But look at this bike, how clean it is.
It looks like it's brand new.
It looks like new.
He's the original owner of it. You can tell it's loved.
Wow.
You can
that
tell
is
it's
really
loved.
Cool.
And he bought it after he returned from serving the U.S. Navy. So that's a win.
And here's another
Honda CB360,
another 360.
Another iteration of the 360.
After we promoted the Common Motor Collective video on Facebook, we got a rash of entries for CB350s and CB360s. So shout out to Common Motors and the Common Motors CB crew. You guys are awesome.
Yeah,
woo woo.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Metal flake, deep orange.
And it's got 30 miles on it.
30 miles.
Oh, this is so. I didn't realize because I had a Norton Combat Commando.
Right.
And it was orange and fiberglass tank, super racy. Before I blew it up, it was fun to ride. But did they ever actually make a Combat Roadster? I mean, have you seen that before with the bigger tank?
Really the only difference is the handlebars.
Mm.
I mean,
or the tank too.
The tank, yeah.
The tank is bigger.
I had a 72 Combat also, and it looked exactly like this, but with the low Euro bar.
Did you blow your bottom end up also?
I did not. I sold it before I did that.
Okay, good.
I sure wanted to.
Scabby remembers that Combat Commander.
And then a modern class.
Modern.
V7 Racer, Moto Guzzi.
You know, those are cool looking bikes. And one of the things I like about the modern Guzzi V7 whole product line is the tank. I mean, it's a direct reflection of the original V7 Sport and Le Mans 1 tanks.
Yep.
You know, and you look at those bikes.
They give a great nod to their racing history with this.
And they're fun to ride too. All iterations of that small block Guzzi have a great power band.
They've also got, they don't have the Guzzi clutch.
No, they
the
don't.
Traditional Bullworker Guzzi clutch is gone. These things apparently are really, they have a lovely soft clutch.
Yeah, you can leave the horsehair shirt at home when you ride that. You don't need it.
Sissy. Yeah, okay, so this is a BMW R1200 RSLC. And I like this one because they modified it to cover what they wanted.
Yeah.
And they said that BMW didn't make a liquid cooled Boxer Cup replica. So
Well,
they made one.
No, they made the S version.
Right.
But then
I don't know. I don't know that much
I'm
about
pretty sure they
modern
made the
BMWs.
S
That's not in my
version.
wheelhouse.
Yeah, but this guy had an RS, and Steven was like, "Let me change it into a S Boxer Cup replica." So it's got like a slightly bigger fairing for more protection than the S version. So it's truly a one-of-a-kind bike. The R1200 RS Boxer Cup. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, this is simple, man.
This is a clean.
Yeah,
This
it's
is,
clean.
Steve did a beautiful job on this one. It really looks like an older Triumph. The low bars, everything's proportional.
Aluminum
it's
fenders.
got the old style mufflers, in aluminum fenders, and it's a very clean. It's got the early tank badge style on it. Yeah, it's a lovely retro and something that I'd ride.
I would too, and I like it because it's not over the top. It's not look at me, look at me. It's a simple, clean bike.
And this one is a 1999 Tiger.
Now this is cool because I know this dude, John Vick, and we met him, Scott, I don't know if you remember, but we met him on the Ride for Kids in Houston a long time ago when we went up there and rode, and he's come to the rally many times, and this bike has seen some use. I mean, he gets around on this thing. And
He
it's,
said he's been
again,
his ride to the Harvest Classic for the past 9 years.
yeah, well, there you go. I mean, and bikes like this, you know, they become an extension of the owner. You know,
Right, and
once
they-
you've gone and had experiences on a bike, it just, it has that, you know, I don't know, it takes on a life of its own kind of.
Nice. And
Oh, yeah.
here's an awesome 1996 Ducati 900 SSCR.
Who doesn't like these, you know, early second gen 900 SSs?
Yeah.
They're beautiful.
They're fun. They're
Yeah.
really, really fun. I had one for many years.
And that one was nicely tricked
Yeah,
out.
that one
too.
had all the little
Yeah.
bits. It was a great one. I think everybody that, you know, has had one, you look back upon them with fondness.
Yeah.
This is a Moto Guzzi Centauro Sport. It's got the 8-valve motor in it. It's basically a muscle bike.
Yeah, these things go.
And there's not many of them. The
No, there's
Centauros
not.
were very rare.
Yeah.
They didn't come into the U.S. very often. This is in a blue, like a deep like blue, and it's
I don't think I've ever seen this color before.
right. And it's a very rare machine.
Well, it was the kind of the standard sit up and beg version of the Daytona,
Right.
which was like, you know, similar to your bike, but with the 4-valve engine. You know?
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
just,
it was a Daytona motor, but set up for cruising in long terms.
yeah, these Centauros are super cool, super rare.
Okay.
Okay, scooter class.
Scooter class. This one, it's a CT70.
Yeah.
And it's a fantastic blue. I mean, you don't see many
Yeah.
blue. Most of them you see are gold or orange.
If you didn't have one when you were a kid, your next door neighbor had one.
Yeah, or you want to steal one.
Yeah.
So they're fun, super fun. This one, Lauren.
I can't say enough good about that thing. It is hysterically fun to
It's
ride.
crazy fun.
But also not super maneuverable.
Yeah, but this one's owned by your name here.
Yeah.
That's right.
You can this
own
one
it.
is actually an auction item that you can go bid on right now. And let me tell you, when you're the guy, when somebody in your crew says, "Beer me," and you pull up on this thing,
BEER.
you're the man. Yeah.
Fun run.
Every run is a fun run with this bike.
And a competition class. We always encourage people to bring the competition bikes out because we want to see them. They
This
don't
is my
get-
favorite.
Yeah,
My favorite
one of my
class.
favorites. I like the specials. I like
Yeah.
competition. Those
There
are
we
my
go.
Me
That's
too.
another bike I've never heard of.
Steve,
Yeah.
this is a Hodaka 100 motor, and the Steam was based upon that motor and built up because the the steam
Is that an
company
Earl's
really wanted to.
style
It's
suspension?
Yeah, Earl's style. It Greaves also had a very similar one. They were a good solution at that time because hydraulic forks were still in kind of in an infancy along the line of technology, and you could really control it.
It's crazy though that Hodaka 100cc engine, because didn't Hodaka use like Fuji engines or something?
Fuji, and Fuji actually I have a fondness for it because of my fun run.
Oh yeah, the air diesel.
The air diesel. It runs a Fuji motor.
Is it similar to looking to that motor?
It's the same company. It's made by it was Fuji, and they sold their motors to Hodaka and to Chaparral. And yeah, it's like an Earl's.
Yeah,
it was these ingredients. And those motors, the Fuji eventually evolved into the Subaru Motor Company.
Oh
Really?
Wow! So it's steam
So it used to be a
Subaru.
Hodaka.
It's
And
really it's a Subaru.
It's basically it's an early iteration of a Subaru.
Interesting.
Nice.
I bet that thing would get 2-3 feet of air easy.
Oh yeah,
They're
easy.
super fun,
Yeah.
and you cannot kill them. I've tried.
Okay, we know this bike. We love this bike.
Yes, you all have seen this bike.
Yeah.
You've been following us for years.
It was our poster bike on Lucky 13.
Yeah.
The rainy year.
Rainy year.
So this bike was built up by Big D.
And raced and campaigned.
Yeah, flogged.
Yeah.
Successfully raced.
Successfully, it was a class champion, national champion, multiple Arma Bears national championships. This bike, after the auction, ended up sitting in my garage until the new owner could take it.
Admit it, you sat on it and made racing noise.
I spent many nights and many beers staring at this motorcycle and just looking and loving at the craftsmanship on it. It's definitely built to race, and it's very well thought out. It's Ed Mabry, who was one of the guys that was instrumental in the Texas Cigar. The
land speed racer. Yeah.
Devil's Arrow, maybe you've heard of it.
Mhm.
It's in the National Motorcycle Museum in England. But he's the guy that built this frame.
Right on.
And then Fred Beck bought the bike and raced it, enjoyed it, and then donated it to us for our auction bike for Lucky 13. And then our hero, Dan Brown, who's on our rally team, was the winning bidder on this bike. So this bike now stays in the family. It belongs to Dan Brown.
And he's got it running, and Big D has tuned it up.
And we're ready to go do a vintage track day.
He said, we're looking at Crescent.
Oh, yeah.
So
That's going to be
we're all
awesome.
very excited about a tournament.
It's gonna be great. Speaking of
And then
Bonneville,
here, we get another Hodaka Ace.
Oh
And
my
you know what?
gosh.
This one, I love this machine because it is everything that is about fun.
yeah,
They took a Hodaka Ace 100,
Yeah.
which is actually about 94 cc.
yeah.
Round up.
You round up.
I thought you were going to say
and
horsepower.
they said, let's go land speed racing.
Yeah, why not?
There's a class for it.
There's a class for
And
everything.
it's fantastic. And it
Yeah.
looks like they really it looks like they went all in on it.
They spared no expense on the rear suspension.
Yeah. And
They
it looks
they
like a
spared no
racing
expense.
bike.
Yeah, it totally does.
It totally looks like
Yeah.
a racing bike. And they made it longer to be more stable at speed.
Now this one, I kind of like this one because it's just completely nuts.
Yeah,
It's a freaking
nitrous fuel Baja mini
It's like,
bike
okay,
drag
I've got a mini bike and I got this old blown up KX 250. And I'm bored because it's a pandemic. And I've got a nitrous tank.
In the funnest way
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah, I mean, this thing is just guaranteed to make you,
I really want to see it running.
laugh
Yeah,
maniacally.
I think, we would.
Yeah.
I'm hoping this thing shows up for the fun run next year.
Frank, please bring this to the rally next year in person because we all want to
Actually,
watch
everybody,
it. Yeah,
please, if you entered it this year,
For real.
please bring it
Yeah.
next year. We'd really love to see these machines.
we really would. Yeah, and I want to, not just see it, I want to ride that one.
Bultaco Astro, these are
You gotta love
legendary.
it. Yeah, factory flat track bike.
bikes.
And they're still racing them today.
Still are, and they're still competitive. And these are the epitome of the factory flat track racers.
It's a great looking bike.
Yeah,
It just
and
has the stance.
They're made to go fast and turn left.
Yep. Go fast and turn left. Okay, specials class.
One of my favorites.
One of our favorites.
And we're going to
yeah.
start off with submitted by Crazy Irishman.
Yeah.
Okay, Peter. It's a Norvin. And
What's a Norvin, Cliff?
A Norvin is a Vincent engine shoehorned into a Norton featherbed frame.
But are Norvins, I mean, are they usually twins or singles? Because
They go both ways because the original Norton was a 500cc Manx.
Yeah.
The Manx was a 500.
Yeah.
The Comet engines and the Meteors
Yeah.
and the single engines are 500cc.
Yeah.
So they are an upgrade in that regard, and you can get a little bit more room, as you can tell.
Yeah,
There's
for
not
sure.
a whole lot of room for another cylinder.
Well, I wonder
although people do shove.
how would it fit? I mean, looking at that, there's no space for cylinder number 2.
You have to do some modifications.
Hence the special
Hence
term.
the special.
That's a really nice bike.
Yeah. 1976 BMW R90/6.
And you can tell he's done some stuff with the rear suspension on this with like a longer almost looks like a GS 880 R80 GS style rear suspension with
laced up H-profile rims, and the seat, the cafe seat, and the low bars. It's a real nice cafe.
And it's going to be super reliable and fun to
Well,
ride.
Perry worked on it, so it's
All right.
For the last 6 years. Attempted to do all the work. So.
Nice.
This one was according to the story, is a COVID special. He bought this bike kind of as a frame project that didn't get finished, and since COVID began last March, has done a complete engine and transmission, bottom and top end, has finished it out, fixed the frame, got the wheels and everything in place, got it painted, and has built this thing since the pandemic has put everybody into our garage.
Yeah, that's a COVID special right there.
COVID special.
The curve of the frame, that's not
That's
stock, right?
that's his lines. It's his.
It's
oil
not a.
Not part of the frame.
But he's got an upside down fork,
Yeah,
totally
upside down
modern
fork, it's all,
brakes.
I think a Gixxer 4.
Oh yeah, GSXR. Yeah, you're right.
And,
And a single-sided rear swing arm.
Yeah, it's a really unique, really classy. It represents what we've done. What people have been able to do during this pandemic.
There we go.
When you're locked down.
When you're locked down. And
There's the /5.
there's a /5,
classic.
a nice cafe racer. Looks like a bike that can be enjoyed, especially out here in the hill country.
Black rims, and that's got that classic BMW headlight that they used like on /2s, /5s. Lose your key, don't worry about it.
Got a nail?
Got a nail, stick it in there. It'll get you home. Looks good with the black rims too.
Yeah. And then in 68, BMW R60 with a Ural sidecar.
Those Ural sidecars are super stout.
They are. I mean, well, they're built for stout roads.
Yeah, it's like that long way down. I'd rather be in one of these. You couldn't break it. It's just going to go over
And then you attach
through
the
the rivers.
to it,
Yeah.
and it's just going to be an unstoppable
Bomb-proof.
bit of kit.
Yeah, definitely. Looks cool with that paint too.
Yeah, great paint job. And this one, I spent some time staring at this one because both Russell and I have built special Goozies.
It's a Jackal.
This is a Jackal.
Yeah.
And it looks nothing like a Jackal. A Jackal was basically a Goozie cruiser with a big teardrop tank and, kind of Goozie's version of a King Queen. And this has been turned into
But it's got a Tonti frame.
Yeah, but it still has a Tonti frame, which is their consistency of style.
Yeah.
So this guy has been converted to look more like a Le Mans 1, a Le Mans 2 kind of engine, or like frame.
I'll tell you something really cool about this entry is the owner, Mitch Freshour, was the jockey on our 1999 Moto Guzzi Bonneville Land Speed Record attempt.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and in also 2001. So Mitch has ridden a Guzzi at speed on the Salt Flats. When Woody and I went out to Bonneville, we met up with Mitch and the rest of the crew. And Mitch is a kind of small in stature, so he would be able to tuck in and disappear behind the fairings on these bikes. And he set 4 speed records, 4 Bonneville Land speed records, 2 in 1999 and 2 in 2001.
So that guy knows his Goozies.
Yeah, he can ride them, and they get loose. Yeah.
Russ can build them.
Yeah, Russ builds them. 74 Honda CD360. Again, going back to the other class with all the 360s, this is another way that they can be reinterpreted.
This is like a gentleman tourer.
It is. It's a gentleman tourer. It's a very elegant green paint job on it. There was a nod to the military. He's got a converted microphone for his rear tail light.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
Right on.
That looks really cool.
I was trying to figure out what that was.
Yeah,
it's just it's such a neat bike. He's put a lot of thought into it.
You can tell he really put some effort into it.
Yeah, for real.
This one, this is it's a passion player.
Yeah.
You can tell that
Mini-me.
It's a mini-me. He converted Indian Italjet, which basically is a very small,
Tiny
bike.
Yeah, those are tiny bikes.
And he did it, and he converted it into a mini version of his Voltaco Astro. And he did a fantastic job of it. And it just looks so fun right next to each other. So,
all right, now we get to the winners.
Now we get to the winners.
It was fun looking at all the entrants.
That was awesome. Okay, for our antique class, our first place is going to go to the 1948 Indian Chief. It's a beautiful example of a very well preserved motorcycle.
Who would not want to ride that bike?
Right.
It just looks so nice.
Britt's done a great job on it. Second place goes to Mark Scott with his 1927 Scott Flying Squirrel. Again, we've talked about it. They really made their own path in that industry.
Really
at that time.
did.
There was not that many two-strokes, and these guys really they were TT competitors and winners, and it was a
and not too many models named after rodents.
right.
either.
Not that
So-
many. Well, Hodaka, you got the Combat Wombat.
The Wombat.
Again, going back to the Hodakas. First place
Vintage.
in the vintage is the 1952 Vincent Touring Rapide. Just can't say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a
you had
fantastic
to,
machine.
Yeah. All original except
All
for the clutch
original,
lever.
Stunning, stunning motorcycle.
Hope he brings
Yeah.
it out.
I look forward to seeing this, in person.
All original except the clutch lever is like the opposite of every bike I've ever had. I mean, seriously. I mean,
The only thing on yours is left.
yeah,
is
mine is,
the
yeah,
clutch.
exactly.
I always
Yeah.
break my clutch.
Literally, look at the Ducati. The clutch lever is original from my wreck. Everything else is rebuilt.
Okay, second place goes to Butch's gorgeous Gold Star.
Oh, yeah.
It's 1957 VSA Gold Star owned by Butch Hudkins. It's a fantastic machine.
And if you saw the slideshow early on in it, you saw Butch standing there with 2 first place trophies. So Butch, you already won enough. You get second place this year, buddy. But thanks for
coming out
joining.
and joining us this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Modern
class.
Okay.
Again, like we were talking about
Yeah.
earlier, the Ducati. It's just
Yeah.
one of those things that everybody that's owned one has loved.
Instant classic.
It is an instant classic, and this is a fantastic example of it. Second place goes to a 2001
The clean
Triumph
machine,
Bonneville.
yeah.
Again, very well done, very clean.
This is what Steve McQueen would be riding today if he was
exactly.
still alive. You just can't beat it.
Scooter class.
Well, there were only 2 entrants.
So first place goes to
The Wicked
the
CT70
Wicked CT70.
Try to keep the front wheel on the
with
ground.
polished chrome and buff
And
paint.
second place is a custom mini bike.
It could be
Cycle
yours.
rig that could
Yeah.
be yours.
We'll announce the name of the winner after the rally.
It comes with the trophy, though.
It does,
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, the
Ribbon.
second place gets a ribbon. yeah.
Competition class.
All right.
Race only. It's first place goes to that fantastic 1971 Hodaka Ace 100.
Ken Sanders, hit us up on our comments and let us know how fast you've had that bad
Yeah,
boy
we'd love to
going
know.
on the
You
saw.
said it's the second
Yeah.
fastest recorded Hodaka in the history of
Yeah.
the brand.
The people
We
want to
want to
know.
know how fast that is.
And honestly, for all the competition bikes, especially the crazy one with the KX250 motor, how fast?
Yeah, how fast? Second place goes to Dan Brown's 1973 Triumph T140 750. Again, stunning, wonderful
Yeah,
race
one of a
bike,
kind.
one of a kind, built by legendary people,
Yeah,
and owned by a legendary man.
indeed. Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
If you've ever enjoyed barbecue, the
Yep.
Harvest Classic, Dan was there.
First place of the specials goes to a crazy Irishman named Peter.
Peter.
And he just finished this machine. It's recently
Look
completed.
at the tail section on that.
Yeah,
thing.
and it's a 1950 to 55 Norman Bitsa in specials. And he builds and has had wonderful equipment, and I look forward to seeing them every time I get an opportunity.
630cc thumper motor.
Right, and
Bang.
again, coming from another state, these are outside the
Yeah.
state.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. Second place goes to that 1978 Honda CB750K,
Olaf.
the COVID special.
Yeah, thanks, Olaf.
Yeah, thanks,
Congrats.
Olaf. It's a rad bike. and-
Super cool bike.
And we look forward to seeing it in person.
Yes.
And our
Okay.
judges pick, this was the one that we really had to scratch our head.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fantastic machines that have showed up this year on our online, but we had to go. We absolutely
Yeah.
had to go with the 1932 Douglas Mastiff.
Yeah.
750 horizontally opposed twin,
Yeah.
whose dad rode all the way around the world solo.
it's a bike plus the story.
It
you
is.
just
It
can't
is.
beat
It
it.
is the whole
Even the
package.
virtual rally brings a bike I've never heard of.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm not a bike nerd on your level, but I'm a bike nerd.
I mean, does the rear cylinder get overheated on that design? I mean, it's
No,
not really.
The fins are laid out. They get the airflow across it. They work
Really?
great. They're fantastic.
It's such a cool bike.
But
Such a
around
good
the world,
story.
don't see them in the U.S.
It's really awesome.
Thanks everyone for
Thanks everybody.
Thank you, everyone, for
entering.
participating.
And
All right.
really looking forward to seeing you in person.
Participating in the show.
But
Thanks for powering.
And Cliff, thanks for hosting the bike show over the years. You and your whole crew. I mean, it's way more than a one-man effort, but Twitchell and Rowdy, Daniel Osborne, your wife Catherine, just all the people that are out there getting sunburned, staking it out.
Yeah, the boys this last year were handing out ballots, so we've got a new generation coming in. So.
And it just feels like such an integral part of the rally. So thanks so much for holding the live one and the virtual one. It's awesome.
I appreciate being part of it. I really do.
All right, we have an update on the quilt. Number 408. The bidding is up to $625, and we had a question. The question was, how big is the quilt? So let's measure it. Got my handy dandy tape measure here. And hey, Lauren, Cliff, could you give me a hand with this?
I don't think I can.
Okay, so it is, it's 7 feet 3 inches wide by, let's see. 7 feet 9 inches tall. So 7 feet 3 inches wide, 7 feet 9 inches tall. That's probably a queen. I was going to say queen, but not sure. It's a king.
California king?
It's a king size. All right. So, what's next?
The number 418, the vintage adult and child bicycles, bids are up to $400.
All right. And we got the Bell Bullet helmet from Moto Liberty. It's a really cool Bell Bullet. It's not the single color. It's got copper and black. It would be really good with one of those coppery early Hondas. It would match the paint perfect on an early copper Honda.
Oh, nice. The mini bike.
All right.
$600.
$600.
I
think that's,
I sold it, really.
You could sell anything.
You put me on it, it's going to look good.
Yeah. Okay, so next we have a film by Ducati Austin, who's also recently taken over CTX Motorworks.
Long-time rally supporters.
Long time. Honestly, year one, when it was rainy and cold, what was our beacon of hope?
Espresso machine in the Ducati truck.
It was the espresso machine in the Ducati truck. And Ducati Austin has been a sponsor from the very first rally. And one of the things about the rally sponsors is, most rally sponsors are a business, but we also have a lot of individual sponsors. But the thing about a rally sponsor is, behind every business, there's a person. There's a person with a connection to the rally, somebody who gets it. For instance, Dan Brown at Wells Fargo. Dan's one of our barbecue chefs. We have Mark, Vito, and Kathy at Ducati Austin, and this is a family business. Vito and Kathy are a husband-wife team. They partner with Mark, and now they own Ducati Austin and CTX Motorsports. It's not some gigantic corporate, conglomerate that owns 30 dealers. It's a couple of guys who are part of the local riding community. So go out and support these guys. We've got Jim and Rose at Blue Moon Glass, who've given us all the bike show trophies over the years. We have Beth at Sign Effects. We have Rick and Beck Martin at Pecan Grove Store. These are the people behind the sponsorships that you see on the site. Oh, and while I'm pointing to this sign, let me make a quick correction. Roadrunners should be at titanium level this year. Roadrunners, woo, yay, thanks Roadrunners. I just printed the sign wrong.
But the thing is, as you say, it's the people.
Yeah, it's the people.
And they come, once somebody gets the rally spirit, if they can participate, they participate from then on.
Yeah.
And, that's one of the things that's makes it great. It's like a big family that gets together once a year.
For sure. Yeah. Thanks to all sponsors and people who've participated in the rally over the years. There's a lot of you guys I didn't give a shout out to, but just know that we love our sponsors.
And all the attendees who've been every year.
There's one sponsor we got to give a shout out to, Mike Pulowski.
Mike Pulowski.
I mean, this is going to be
rally
his
hero.
17th year. He was our first platinum sponsor. He's been a platinum sponsor every year, and it's a personal sponsorship. I mean, Mike is a working man.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah, Mike. Whoa.
And
thank you, Mike.
A huge inspiration for the fun run.
For the fun run, yeah.
I mean, because the guy, is it a problem? It's not a problem.
It's not a problem.
It's,
he has 10 bikes that all equal 500 cc's if you put them together.
Very strong interest in small engines.
Yeah. Okay. So Scott's giving me the hurry up signal. So we are now going to go to the video of Ducati Austin and CTX Motorsports in San Antonio. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for all your support. Yep. Man, the variety of the Triumph offerings, from the 675 to these classic bobbers.
The portfolio with Triumph is so broad spectrum now. You've got the bobbers. Oh, this one is sweet.
Is that a Thruxton?
Yeah, it's the modern Thruxton. It's so sick. And who doesn't want this scrambler? They look so sick. And there's the Tiger.
Also off-road, but totally.
Yeah, more modern.
Yeah.
And this one with the, what is it called? Like the TXR Special or something. It has the cafe fairing. They're just such great looking bikes. And you've got your street triples, your speed triples.
I don't think Daniel would get part with this.
That bike will do anything. The street triple will do anything. And they're not just a niche category. I mean, Triumph has retro bikes. They have touring bikes, ADV bikes. Now they have cruisers. They've got the big 1600cc vertical twin cruiser. Yeah, and they've got full-on sport bikes also. Just like the new Daytona they have. Okay, and so this is what we're looking at right now is the new dealership in San Antonio, CTX Motorsport. It's a Triumph and Ducati dealer, so not only do they have those sweet Triumphs we just saw, they've got the entire Ducati lineup. Like the Multistrada is the perfect example of a bike that will do it all in comfort. The Pikes Peak record was set on a Multistrada for several years. I think it was
what's that bike with all the wings and stuff on it? The
Panigale, yeah. Oh, and these Diablo X's. I mean, they just look so cool. Like Ducati said, I'm going to make a cruiser, but I don't even care about your stupid rules. I'm going to make this thing so fast that if you come to me, you're going to lose. I mean, nothing beats a Diablo on the street. The Diablo is going to launch hard.
Makes a VMAX look like
a
mini bike.
A Harley, it's like 200 or 300 pounds lighter with twice the horsepower, and they're both cruisers.
And a rear tire about this wide.
Yeah, it's going to get it. So that CTX Motorsports in San Antonio, go check them out. So now we're back in Ducati Austin, and they just now unveiled this really special bike. Look at the wings on the front. It's the Super Leggera, the V4.
So it's like super lightweight, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's a V4. So like it's this revolutionary Ducati. I have no idea what Super Leggera. I think it stands for. Definitely super expensive, yeah. But this thing sounds so mean, and he starts it up and it says, it just sounds like you're on the motor.
They wouldn't put it on.
It's like 220 horsepower or more, maybe more. I don't know. But you need wings to stay on the ground. When you have 220 horsepower. It disappeared. I hope you guys got to hear the sound of it. And then they're just following up with a few shots on the Scrambler, which is just kind of their cool standard off-road style bike. And they've got a whole lineup of those Scramblers. Some of them are dirt oriented, and some of them are street oriented. Oh, this Dionysi custom shop they have there, you can go in and get measured.
It was so windy out here the other day, I saw a hen lay the same egg 3 times.
All right. Hey, have y'all figured out the drinking game yet? Okay, if not, if you read it right, you'd know the rules, but maybe you haven't read it right. But remember, with the drinking game, everybody's a winner.
Well, or maybe your liver is a loser.
So
we're trying to work here.
Harpo. Harpo. You can't take Harpo anywhere. I mean, we were like, Harpo, do you want to come out ride to the rally with us? And he said something like,
yeah.
And then, you know,
which I took to mean yes.
Yeah. And, you know, you just can't take him anywhere. So, so speaking of Harpo, Harpo is being played by our dear friend Scabby. And Scabby selected a really cool band for this year.
Hooked us up with
it's
the Presley
Project. Yeah. And this is not just a Elvis Presley tribute band. It's a band that really plays off sheet music. They really care about the sound and the musicianship. Yeah, they sound really good. But you know, we've had a ton of good bands over the years at the Harvest Classic. We've had Dale Watson, the Iron City Soul Shakers, and I don't know if you remember the Iron City Soul Shakers, but they had a blonde singer, and she did a lot of Tina Turner, Rolling Stones. It was a really great band. I think they're not together anymore. We often have Two Hoots and a Holler come out, and everybody's always dancing to them. We had Western Youth a couple years ago, and they blew us all away.
Great.
Hay Bale, Omar and the Howlers. We had Cheap Sunglasses.
The
Toadies came out and played an acoustic set.
Yeah.
And really my favorite, the legendary
on Lucky 13,
Brown Sabbath. Yeah.
That has got to be the best concert
Yeah.
I have ever seen.
It made me feel
I'm
warm
getting chills.
inside.
I am seriously getting goosebumps right now just talking about it.
Yeah, Brown Sabbath was so good. So this year, we've got the Presley Project for you doing Oh Baby, What You Want?
Shot just last week.
In the Lukenbach Dance Hall. So here's a little taste of Lukenbach. Thanks again.
Oh yeah! We're going up, we're going down, we're going up, down, down, up, any way you want, let it roll. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You got me doing what you want me, baby, what you want me to do. You got me peeping, you got me hiding, you got me peep, hide, hide, peep, any way you want, let it roll. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You got me doing what you want me, baby, what you want me to do. You got me peeping, you got me hiding, you got me peep, hide, hide, peep, any way you want, let it roll. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You got me doing what you want me, baby, what you want me to do. We're going up, we're going down, we're going up, down, down, up, any way you want, let it roll. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You got me doing what you want me,
There was a rooster on both sides of the road. One of them asked the other and said, "How did you get across the road?" He said, those mistakes all.
So, Russ.
Yo.
You thirsty?
I'm thirsty.
I'm thirsty.
I feel like
something.
If we're at the well, we'd be having a drink
Absolutely.
right now.
Cheers
Like
to the well.
a drinking
Yeah.
game.
To all the people out in the service industry that are helping us out to get through this. We're thinking about you.
And all our volunteers throughout the years.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you
would not
haven't
happen.
figured out the drinking game yet, send a few comments and maybe we can get a few clues dropped. Okay, what's next?
Talk about Vincenzo's.
yeah.
The world's smallest motorcycle museum.
Yeah, so John Lincecum got his video camera and went and got with Vincenzo Murphy, who's a longtime Austin Road runner, rally attendee, rally crew member. If you know Vinny, you know he's a super cool guy to visit with and hang out with, and he has a real nice touch with the bikes. He has a way with them that's hard to describe.
The Veloset in the bike show was his.
Yeah.
And his museum, he's also a blacksmith.
Yeah.
He's retired military, and he got into blacksmithing. And so he's fabricating a large portion of this museum, like the hinges in the door and everything about it. It's like
the brand, the HC brand.
Yes.
Yeah. And you know, and he's had some poster bikes too. The Jawa.
Yes, Jawa.
Did he have one more?
The Beardmore.
Oh yeah, the Beardmore Precision.
Was the Beardmore one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Or was it
I
not?
should know this. No, we were going to
18
do a
years.
poster bike skit, but we didn't. But anyway, so we have this really cool film that John Lincecum put together with Vinny of the world's tiniest moto museum. So please enjoy.
It's like 9 foot, 10.5 inches by 19 foot, 10.5 inches. And it's 14 feet tall. It can't be any higher than 15 foot, so the highest point is 14 foot tall. When I'm in here, it's the best place that I could be. This is the Beardmore Manor, Museo de Moto, AKA the smallest motorcycle museum in Texas. Hello, I'm Vincenzo Murphy, and welcome to Beardmore Manor. There was a kid when we lived in El Paso in 1972 that got a mini bike for his birthday. And I was so excited by that. I told him, hey man, I can ride that. I know how to ride that. Because he was riding it around his backyard. He said, okay. And so he let me ride it, and I pulled the throttle all the way back, and it shot me into, El Paso has rock walls everywhere. Everything's rock walled. I shot right into a rock wall and crashed. And that was my first motorcycle experience. Even though it was a mini bike, it was a motorcycle experience. And it never left me. My dad hated motorcycles. He was a medic in the Army. He worked in the emergency room. He saw a lot of people die on motorcycles, so it was a no-go. But my grandfather would go hunting around Kerrville. Told my dad, I got those motorcycles in the back of the truck. My dad said, what? He said, those boys are getting those motorcycles. My dad hung up the phone, called me and Dino into the room and said, looks like you're going to get those motorcycles. Here's the deal. I'm not paying a cent. If they don't run, you're going to have to figure it out. And you always have to wear a helmet, boots, and gloves. Corey was hanging out the side of it with the top down, and I was riding, so we got that great blurred image. And then once I was in the deserts of El Paso riding my motorcycle, my whole world changed because I became independent. I became who I was supposed to be, a guy that, you know, loved riding motorcycles, was totally into the whole thing, soup to nuts. I really learned about what freedom felt like and how that was my passport, you know, because I was a loner pretty much. I didn't have any friends or anything. My motorcycle was my friend. JLO is made, they're like a proprietary company that makes motors for all kinds of applications, from lawnmowers to other things, but they made motorcycle motors too. So this is a neat example of that. The money that started it all basically came from the sale of my 1924 Beardmore Precision Model F. one of only 4 in the world that was running. The Beardmore paid for the foundation of this building and then also the blacksmith shop next door. And it also paid for all the steel. So that was a really, and for Robbie to help me put it up. That was really, Robert Abdallah. That was really the thing that kind of made me go forward with it. And it took, from beginning to end, about 4.5 years to do. You can't be afraid of work. And you got to stick to it, because the thing is that it's daunting. You just got to stay motivated. You have to have the end picture in your head and walk to it in baby steps. It doesn't happen overnight. The rewards, though, are so great if you can get to the end of that, because the sense of accomplishment is incredible. To build a building is incredible. Then to make that building your space, and it's very personal. There's so many personal things in here as far as the way the door handles are, the little dragon hooks, the way the bookends are up there, all those little forgings and things like that are mine. That makes this place mine. It's got my stamp on it. And it's just fun to be able to do that. You know, it's fun to be able to see the reality of that come to fruition. This is a 1949 Vincent HRD Comet. They all give you a gift, and each gift is slightly different. But if I were to make that call, I would say it was my Comet. You know, my Comet, it won't get much better than the Comet. You know, I'm lucky to have this HRD, the Vincent HRD Comet. This Comet has been retrofitted with Brampton forks. It originally came with what's called Gerdrolics. Gerdrolics are a heavier front end. I like the way this front end feels. It's fun to gestate in your head and think about all the possibilities, but the execution phase is where the work begins. And it's easy to get overwhelmed, because there was times where I just had to take a break because I really didn't know how I was going to do a certain phase of it. Like, for example, the hinges on the door. Those are all forged hinges. I didn't have any idea how I was going to hang them. I didn't know how it was actually, if it was going to actually work. I made these hinges in my blacksmithing class. There's a blacksmithing class called Architectural Hardware. And the teacher said, hey, what do you students want to do? And I told him, I want to make hinges. He goes, well, I don't make hinges. I said, well, this is an architectural hardware class. So we ended up making like a fireplace set and stuff like that. And I said, I still don't understand why you don't make hinges. I said, if that means you don't know how, that's fine. Let's learn together, but it should be part of your vocabulary. And he got upset with me. He said, fine, you can make a hinge. I'm just not going to help you. I said, okay. So then I figured it out. I wanted a long strap hinge because it's very traditional. These are called strap hinges. And I wanted it to be substantial. I wanted it to have a look of just strength. So when you open up the door, I've always been a fan of castor oil, because castor oil took basically every motorcyclist around Isle of Man that ever raced. And so I had to do a castor oil homage, if you will. And so I painted the castor oil sign. And Doug Hector, I got this conrod from Doug Hector. So I thought that'd be a perfect door, and it is a perfect door. And then this badge right here comes off of a Vickers machine gun tripod. And that's courtesy of my friend Dave Rosenfeld. He's a machine gun expert. And so he gave me that. And it says welcome where it's supposed to have some kind of serial number. I put welcome on there. And then again, my touch mark is right here on the door. This is a guy named John Clark. John Clark went to school here in Austin and acquired this Vincent while he was going to school here in Austin. And he raced the heck out of that thing, and he still has it in a million pieces. This is my friend Dave Rosenfeld. Dave Rosenfeld has had 13 Vincents over the course of his life, and he lives in Smithville. He still has a Vincent. It's called Praito. And in fact, that's a drawing of Praito right there, done by my friend Norman. Beardmore Manor brings to me immediate relaxation and happiness. It was built to house all the stuff that I've collected throughout my lifetime. James Gardner when he was 18, bought a villa set out of DeLalo's in, I guess it's Dallas-Fort Worth area. It turned into Big D's. It became Big D Cycle. And he bought that. They said it was sitting right next to a Black Shadow, and they wanted $1 for every mile that was on the clock, and it was like 1,350 miles, so they wanted that much money for it, which was a lot in those days. And he tried to get his dad to buy it. He said, son, you'd be dead in a day. There's no way we're going to get that for you. So he ended up with this little Villaset Mac. And I interviewed him, and I wrote a story for Fishtail. Fishtail is a club magazine for Villaset, and they made him the cover star, which is neat. I come in here to read. I've got my library upstairs. I come in here just to hang out and be among all the stuff that I've collected and to look at the pictures of my friends that have gone, because it's a memorial to them as well. This is a picture of my friend Richard Ong on a Villaset that he had customized in California when he was in his California days. And then speaking of Richard Ong, here's a memorial of him. He's passed away. This is a neat thing that Doug Hector gave me. It is it's a mold for a pattern so that people could do casting. It's a casting mold, so it's all made out of hardwood. It's really beautifully done. I've never seen a motor like it because it's got 4 valves and a single cylinder, and it's a side valve setup. So I'm just curious as if this thing would have ever been anything. You know, it's just interesting. He also gave me this sleeve valve motor. Sleeve valves were a way that people worked around because poppet valves at the time weren't that dependable because the spring technology wasn't up there. But a sleeve valve has very little moving parts and it doesn't make a lot of noise. When people come by and see this, the reactions are usually, it's a lot. It's a lot to see, but they're usually blown away by it, and that makes me feel good because if you come to a place, you need to have that visual joy given to you. You know, it needs to give you something that you would never have gotten any other place. That's what makes this unique. And so I really like when people come to visit, and I like their reactions, you know, and I also like to go to other places that other people have their dreams, and I can see how they've executed it, you know, because this is a small world. We're all kind of interconnected, and it's fun to be able to be part of that.
There was a rooster out here on both sides of the road, and one asked the other and said, how'd you get across the road? He said, you are across the road.
Those guys.
Yeah, I love Virgil. Like, Virgil's laugh is
the laugh.
fantastic. I mean, you can hear him when he tells a joke on the other side of Lukenbach. You can hear him all the way across the place.
It's one of those,
Like the rooster.
it's a brand. It's a Virgil's brand, you know, when you hear the laugh, you know.
Signature sound.
Yeah, Virgil, we love you. You're such a part of the rally. And Hayden, you're all right too.
Yeah,
So we're going to give some updates on the rally crew. First, let's do a quick shout out to the rally volunteer crew, all the volunteers over the years that come, that work.
They come in, they bust their humps.
Yeah.
We set up that giant sign that was up there, the burros from New Mexico and Colorado that ride down every year and help us out.
And God bless the Sunday morning teardown crew. You know,
we're all just wiped out.
Yeah, I mean,
they really help wrap it up.
so thanks to all the volunteers over the years for helping us out with the rally.
Absolutely. People that help us in the squad meets,
Yeah.
the folks that are helping the bike shows, the kitchen crew. All
There's always folks ready to help. So let's get some auction updates.
Yep. So this helmet right here, $1,000 value.
Isle of Man.
Isle of Man.
Isle of Man branded.
Fits.
It's got the
Clifford,
the three-legged.
Fits my melon perfect.
It's only like up to $300, $320.
That's $1,000.
$980 retail.
Yeah. In fact, there's a lot of stuff right now in the auction that is either no bids or really, really low bids. So go check it out.
This is there's some golden opportunities to get some items that are available.
help us raise money for the Candlelighters and get a good deal on some killer swag. But even if it no longer becomes a good deal, guys, keep bidding.
That's right.
That's exactly
This
right.
is not about
Yeah.
getting, it's about getting.
Yeah, when you go beyond the good deal part and you're still bidding, you've entered the realm of rally hero-dom. Yeah. So we have lot number 404, Primo Liquor and Duffel Cooler from the Cladil family is cruising around up about $200.
Nice.
It's nice.
$600 for the mini bike with the sidecar.
And that's not
A
even,
bargain.
the cooler's not even filled. I mean, it's doing great.
Yeah, and we have the Isle of Man helmet here that we just talked about, size large. You know, the cool thing about this is it's not only style with the Isle of Man 3 legs, but it's safety too.
Conspicuity
You know,
is the
conspicuity.
watchword.
Yeah. This is a sweet helmet.
What does it mean,
really
brutal
is.
performance?
I have no idea what Drudy performance means. It's a nice helmet though. So keep bidding. Check out the auction items, guys.
Come on, come
Yeah.
on, come
And,
on. These are
and
some great deals. And support our sponsors.
Yeah.
And we really appreciate them being part of this, for donating these items to help us raise the money for the charity. We can't do it without them.
yeah, we've got 2 Simpson helmets. We've got this yellow one. We also have a red one. The yellow one is a medium. The red one's a large. I've got one of these helmets, and one of the cool things about these helmets is they're super light. You might think because it's a retro helmet that it's just all about fashion, but it's actually super light, and because it's pure off-road, has tons of ventilation.
And very retro. It's very nostalgic.
Yeah.
It's got great lines.
I remember when that first, like kind of dog face style came out back in the 80s.
Yeah.
It was such a cool helmet.
Oh, yeah.
Transition from
Yeah.
the racing car world into the motorcycling world.
Yeah, and you know,
And you look into Darth Vader.
That's right.
It's, you know,
yeah, and the Simpson factory in New Braunfels has been a rally sponsor for a long time. Every year they send us a couple of new helmets. So thanks, Simpson. Really appreciate you. Oh, so one other package right here is this Steve McQueen collectible package. So we have this rally sponsor, Dan Steed, who every year sends us some really thoughtfully curated packages.
Oh, like is he the guy that sends the posters?
Yeah, it's usually like a poster and a T-shirt and something along a theme. He loves MotoGP. But one of the things he sent this year was this Steve McQueen package. It's got a T-shirt and a really cool graphic novel on it that I leafed through and just was like, oh, I got to get this. But it's only at $61. So if you're a Steve McQueen fan, go check that one out.
And if you're not a Steve McQueen fan,
Yeah, now's the time. Yeah.
yeah, time to start.
Yeah. Oh, there's only 2 items now with no bids. So thank
Awesome.
you
Good
guys.
job, guys.
Really appreciate it. That's really freaking cool. So next.
Have we figured out the drinking game? That's
Oh, the drinking game.
Have you guys figured out the drinking game? We don't know.
Adam, Shadrock, are we getting any comments on the drinking game? Do we need to drop a hint about how hot it is? I might need to change my shirt. It's just getting
A sweat soaked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think every
it's
time
getting hot in
maybe
here.
every time you change your shirt.
You might be onto something. I don't know. But
So like-
but also the rule. Oh, I forgot one of the rules, which when you figure it out, you got to catch up. So
I think it's
You guys have already done a shirt change at least 7 or 8 times. Maybe a dozen.
5. They are at home.
I mean, I'm not saying that's the
all red
game,
shirts.
but I'm not saying it's not.
Yeah, don't drink and drive.
Don't
Stay at
drink
home.
and drive.
Stay at home and
Yeah.
play the drinking
Remember,
game.
it's a virtual rally. You're at home on the couch participating in the drinking game. All right.
That's
You
right.
can drink in bed though. Yeah.
Yeah, drunk
that's
bidding
allowed.
is highly recommended.
Okay. So we've got another video coming up from Austin Moto Works. This is a shop on North Lamar, right behind Empire BMX, and it's run by Steven Tyler. And Steven really specializes in airheads and vintage BMWs. Yeah, and so he's put together a little film for us. So let's check it out.
Oh, hey, what's going on? Welcome to the 2020 Harvest Classic, COVID edition. I'm Steven, I'm from Austin Moto Works, and I've got some cool bikes out here today. I guess we're gonna check some of those bikes out.
Hey Virgil, dog walked in the bar the other day, ordered a Lone Star beer, some beef jerky, and potato chips.
No kidding?
No kidding. Linda, the bartender, she said, "Dad, you are an amazing dog. You should be in the circus." And the dog said, real puzzled, "Why? Do they need electricians?"
Ooh, shocking.
All right, we're gonna try this. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not, but we're gonna try the hot mic while we do the fun run. I'm gonna try and keep this thing running. Ever since we put the Takagawa Big Bore kit on it, it's a little sketchy. Whoa, come on. Woohoo! It's almost like a fun run. Whoa! It'd be nice if this thing wouldn't kill me. Ah! Okay, here we go. Okay, you're gonna bring it on in. Bring it in, whoa! All right, we're coming in. Watch the sidecar.
Record, and you're good to go. Hey. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Champion finish!
Hayden, the cop pulled me over on his bike.
Really?
Yeah, I told him I only wanted to borrow it for 5 minutes.
All right.
Here we are.
Okay, so if that was a little confusing, I'm sorry, but it's a live thing and we're trying to talk while we ride and ride in here, so hopefully it was fun to watch. So please go to the merch section, buy one of these badass Run 100cc shirts. You know you want it. Now, you may be thinking, these guys are too old to be wearing this shirt, but I would just like to say, check up. Run DMC played Liberty Lunch in what, 84, 85? We were there. The stage was shaking so hard that Jam Master Jay had to say, stop, back away from the stage because the records were skipping and he couldn't mix and scratch the way he wanted to. So Run DMC is just as vintage as the Harvest Classic. We have every right to wear these shirts. That's all. End of the subject. Okay. So the auction ends soon at 3:45. The auction closes. Get your bids in now for auction items. We still got a lot of good deals out there. Thanks everybody for watching the Fun Run video, and I really don't know what's next. We're going to read some attendee comments.
So we haven't gotten any.
What's after the attendee comments? Give me something to work with here.
Hey, Virgil, what do you call
Jokes.
it when a guy wears a cowboy hat and a pearl snap shirt and cowboy boots, but he ain't a cowboy?
What's after that?
I don't know. What?
Ranch dressing.
Eagle Claw. Sweet. Thank you.
Yes,
All right.
Coming up next is a very special musical entertainment segment of Eagle Claw, a local instrumental band, I believe, that you will enjoy it.
I mean, I've got all the records. I heard these guys for the first time maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and I was completely blown away. They really kind of evoke some of the classic Black Sabbath style of metal, but they're mainly instrumental with no or very little vocals. And we know you're going to love this clip. They made it special for us, so check it out. Oh, nice.
This one is for the Harvest Classic 2020 and years beyond. Wear your fucking helmet.
The metal is strong and pure.
Reinheitsgebot.
Thanks, Eagle Claw.
You're the best.
That was so awesome. I love that song. So next, we have a film about a different type of heavy metal. This is the racing British iron type of heavy metal. So this is another film that John Lincecum stepped forward with. He paired up with Vincenzo Murphy to make this badass video about Headley Cox, who is a 92-year-old man living in San Antonio who used to be a Velocette mechanic and a factory racer. Has a really cool story to tell. Rock on.
Ballast Bridge.
That's a great picture.
That's on an AJS.
There's your
That's
market.
going down Bray Hill in
Get your attire.
1951.
Well, I was working on ships' engines in Newcastle and Glasgow, and I didn't like that much.
Governor's Bridge.
So I wrote to about 6 motorcycle companies asking them for a job, and they all turned me down. So I wrote again a month later, and this time Veloce Limited said they had a job in the experimental department.
Because I know you're a sleeve valve man.
That's right. It's a pity it didn't become more popular.
Yeah, it is.
I went to Veloce Limited and was interviewed by them, and they offered me the job. I was surprised and pleased when I found it was the racing department. And they showed me a lot of racing engines stacked up on the floor and said, these have to be overhauled. We got busy on those racing engines. They had to be stripped down because the assembly line didn't normally assemble racing engines. They just slapped them together anyhow. And there were just 3 of us on the racing side, and we had to strip all the engines and find out what was wrong, how they'd been put together badly, and then take them up to the test bench and test them until they reached a certain horsepower. And then we'd take them down, and the assembly line would build them into proper racers. I started in February 1948, and by the time June came around, they took me over to the Isle of Man to help with the private owners. They all wanted something doing to them, mainly make them faster. That was the first year, in 1948, they had the Clubman's racing. We attended to one of the bikes, that was a Velocette owned by Ron Hazelhurst. And it had been timed all wrong. So we put it right, and he won the job, and he won the Clubman's race, a junior class.
Wow, that's great.
So we got the first 2 in the junior TT, and the first one in the Clubman's. That was in June. In September they had the Manx Grand Prix, which was more for amateurs, and they sent me over for that, and I worked hard on the private entries. We did fairly well there. I forget exactly what, but we kept the flag flying. 1949 came around. The boss had redesigned parts of the motors, but they were still pretty fast. And we won in 1949 TT as well. In 1950, we were still on top. But the AGS and the Nortons were getting closer. We still won the TT and did well in the Manx. When 1951 came around, and our boss really redesigned the engine, put all his new ideas into it. His new ideas weren't very good because we lost all the races that year.
That's terrible.
But I entered for the Manx.
You entered?
My first race, I bought a KTT and entered it. I was very surprised to find I was in third position. My boss said, oh, you did very well. And I wanted to get a 500 to race in the senior, but I didn't have any money. So I said to him, would you lend me one of those old 500s in the back of the shop for the next Manx? He said, no. Too many people think they can ride a 500 just because they've done well on the 350. But I just had to get a 500 somehow. I said, why don't we put two of those KTT engines together, side by side? Two of them each picked up a 350 and put it side by side in the frame that was standing there. It was much too wide, so I figured it couldn't be done. But I wasn't so sure. I thought, well, if I cut off the bevel drive, the overhead cam,
Yes, sir.
and make a chain drive instead, maybe I could do it. I bought two 350 scrap crankcases and took them home and put them on my lathe and turned off the bevel housing. That way I could get them closer together. And I figured chain drive right between the two cylinders. Just before the Manx, I ran and bumped it and it started up all right. I thought, oh, that's good. So I took the 500 I just built and my other 350, took them over to the Isle of Man in September. I took the 500 I built out for practice and it was all right. It was a bit slow. I wasn't expecting much. And I figured that it was probably because I was using straight through pipes as against the megaphone. So I cut off the pipe short and put two megaphones on. And I took it out for the last practice. Well, it went like hell.
Oh, that's...
Much faster than the Nortons. They put the AJS man right at the front of the start. You know, we'd go off in 10-second intervals. He was right at the front, and by the time it came to my turn, I was right at the back, and he was halfway around the circuit by then. I had to stop for a fill-up, and he didn't, so the result was he caught me on my fifth lap and his sixth lap, and he was on his last lap, and he zoomed past me, and I don't remember any of this, but somehow or other I got off the line and crashed badly.
Oh.
And landed in hospital. I got a broken thigh and torn up face. They had me back at Velocets as a race mechanic for a year. And at the end of the year, the boss called me in and gave me a week's notice. He said, I expect you want to know why, don't you? He hadn't been too friendly lately, so anyway, I said, okay. He said, it was that bike you made last year. You must have been thinking about it all the time. So it took your attention from the works bikes. That's why we didn't win any races last year.
Yeah, that's awesome.
This is heavy torque on it. Sleeve valve engine. 500cc sleeve valve. It's mounted in a Honda VT 500. There it is, right there. Sleeve valve engine, 500cc in a Honda VT 500. Invented by, and registered by Headley Cox.
So Virgil, this grizzly bear walked in the bar. He walked up, I said, "Can I help you?" He said, "Yeah, I'd like a Shiner Bock and a Lone Star beer." I said, "Why the big pause?" He said, "Well, I was just born with them."
So we got a couple more auction items to talk about. The main thing is, guys, auction's not closed. And now's your time. Move in.
Knife that thing.
You didn't have to like you didn't have to rent a hotel. Go buy a jacket. Go buy a helmet. Spend that money and burn a hole in your pocket. Anyway, so we still got some stuff. One is the Kevin Schwantz women's shirt from Dan Steed. Now that I'm unmuted, you might be able to hear me better. So one is the Kevin Schwantz shirt from Dan Steed. The bidding's up to $67. But what I was saying when my mic was muted was that the auction's about to end.
3:45.
Yeah, at 3:45. So now is your chance to go over, show some love, help us raise some money for the Candlelighters. We were just talking about how much money we've all saved this year on the rally because we didn't have a hotel, we didn't have gas, we didn't have to buy a whole bunch of stuff involved with the Harvest Classic weekend. So go spend it on the auction site.
The Isle of Man helmet's up to $420, up $100 in the last 15 minutes. So if you're wanting this one, sounds like you better pay attention.
Yeah, and the M50, this one, I'm not sure if this 419 is the yellow or the red, but one of them's going up to 135. Really, it closes at 3:45, so now's your chance to go bid and go big for the kids. To all of those who have done so. Another joke?
Virgil and Hayden, you silly mins. Maybe I'll tell a joke.
I don't know any that are like suitable at all. You know, we'd get banned from the live stream version of FCC, whatever that might be.
I'm trying to think of it.
All right.
Oh,
Death video.
Globe of Death.
Okay, so we have a tradition at the rally, which is the Globe of Death, which is it's a family, and this family is the Ortiz family, and they call themselves the Flying O-Riders or the Insane O-Riders.
Oh yeah.
And this is what they do for fun. They actually have three. Leroy was telling me they have 3 different Globes of Death. They set them up in their backyard and they party with the Globes of Death and the mini bikes.
I asked
they
him one
work
time.
on stunts.
I asked him one time, how do you learn to do that? He just hurt.
Yeah.
Like, how do you go halfway wall?
It's all about, it's like once I asked Eric Mills, what's the secret to riding a good wheelie? He said, get comfortable with the point of no return. And I think that's kind of the same with the Globe of Death. You got to fully commit.
We got to get them out here and do some
this
wall
would make
riding.
a great Wall of Death venue here in the arena. So anyway, Leroy put together a very short video for us. And it's really cool because he did it solo. He was texting me while he was doing it. His family's out of town, so he set up the Globe of Death all solo. It took like 2 or 3 nights to do it. And then on the last night, he went out and he shot some video because he really wanted to have a Globe of Death presence in our virtual rally. So thanks, Leroy.
Because it's a beloved presence in the live rally.
At this point, they're family. I mean, they really are.
So hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks again, riders.
Oh yeah. What's up, Harvest Classic? Russell, Duke. Just want to say hi to everyone, and we're sorry we're not able to be there this year due to COVID, but you know what? We figure we still play around here in the backyard. We got our globe set up. So I'm going to try and give you a little bit of taste of what we'll be bringing next year, and hopefully you guys enjoy. Thank you.
Hear about the skeleton that walked in the bar?
No.
He said, I'll have a beer and a mop.
10 minutes to go.
10 minutes.
45.
Yeah, the auction ends in 10 minutes. So we've raised over $9,000 so far. And as a grand total, how many dollars have we raised over the years with the Harvest Classic?
$750,000.
That's right. I think it's
$750,000.
I think it's 770 was our total after the last donation we made last year. $770,000. That's thanks to you guys. That's thanks to the Rally family. It's our sponsors who've donated cash and goods for the auction. It's our Rally attendees who come and they
Every year.
Yeah, they come every year and they buy admission, they buy t-shirts, they bid on stuff in the auction, they buy raffle tickets. It's really the whole Rally family that has raised that $770,000. And I can tell you that it means a lot to the Candlelighters. So there's only 10 more minutes to help us raise a lot more money this year. Even though we're having a virtual rally, we're trying to make our donation be equivalent to what the past years have been. So now's your chance to help us. So please do. So the thing about this next video and
Russell, 1 second.
yeah.
So if you want to bid on one of these items,
Yeah.
you go to hc2020.givesmart.com.
What is that again?
hc2020.givesmart.com.
Nice.
That's where you go to buy yourself a new helmet, get yourself your Honda Project bike.
A jacket. We had one comment asking how the jackets fit. I tried on an extra large and it was a little on the snug side. Usually I wear an extra large, so I would say they fit to size, a little bit athletic fit.
So not really for me.
Well, maybe double X, you know. So this next video is features Common Motor Collective. This is a really cool shop in Houston that specializes in early Honda vertical twins, namely the CB350, CB360, 450, those bikes that are so cool. And this video talks a little bit about the package that Brendan and the guys have put together for us, but
he also totally gets the rally.
Totally
The
gets it.
whole point.
Yeah, heart
I mean,
and
he's
soul.
like been to
Yeah.
rally school, and we didn't even have rally school.
Totally. Now, like but the cool thing about this is it's a package. So you get a bike, and
It
it's not
has everything.
Yeah, with a title. So unlike most Craigslist bikes, this one actually has a title, so that's a killer starting point. And then it's a huge parts list. I mean, the parts list that they're giving, and yeah, it's everything: the ignition circuit, points, condenser, the charging circuit. It has a battery, a regulator rectifier, the fuel circuit, complete carb rebuild kit, petcock rebuild kit, new tires, new brakes.
If you've ever wanted to like learn a mechanic or do a bike for the bike show,
Yeah.
anything like that, and you feel like you're being held back,
Yeah.
maybe by knowledge, experience, you know, having all the stuff you need at hand, you don't have that excuse because this is it.
That's right. And they also throw in a $500 gift certificate for stuff that they may not have included.
Or whatever to customize, like, you know, maybe you need some ape hangers on there.
And then Brennan
Who knows?
also said, and you got me on speed dial. So if you get stuck with this project, call them up. They're here to help. So we are going to play a video that Brennan and the guys at Common Motor put together about this project. Then we'll segue into the Presley Project video, which is the second song that the Presley Project recorded last week in the Lukenbach Dance Hall. And this one is about Sally. So hope you enjoy these next couple of bits.
Bid all the way up to 345.
Bid it up, guys, 345.
Hey there, everybody. This is Brendan here with Common Motor. And today, we're here to share with you an event that's near and dear to us here in Texas. That is the Harvest Classic Vintage Motorcycle Rally. I'm actually wearing a shirt from one I went to many years ago. Now, this is a rally that happens every October, right in the smack middle of the state in the Hill Country. The Harvest Classic is the largest vintage motorcycle rally in the state of Texas, and 2020 marks their 18th year. However, the Harvest Classic is not just a vintage motorcycle rally where a bunch of us from around the state gather, go out camping, check out a bunch of cool bikes, see what bikes are on display at the show. It's actually something bigger. It is a fundraiser for the Candlelighters Childhood Cancer Foundation. So all the money and proceeds that get channeled through the event go to help support families that are fighting childhood cancer. Now, I don't want to go into all the crazy details about the Harvest Classic. We're going to have a link below to a video that explains it a lot better from the founders of the Harvest Classic, as well as a link to the Candlelighters so you can learn more about the charity. This year, things are going to be a little different. Now, we're all dealing with the pandemic situation, and the actual physical rally is no longer happening out in Lukenbach, which is where the rally is usually held. We are actually doing a live stream rally via the internet, so that way everybody out there, and some of you who have never heard about it before, can get a glimpse of what the Harvest Classic is like and what it's all about. The live stream happens. You can tune in and watch it for free on Saturday, October 17th from 1 to 4 p.m. We'll have the links below so you guys can tune in to the live stream and check it all out. It's supposed to be a really cool variety show showing lots of different vintage motorcycle things happening all around the Lone Star State. Since this year has been a little bit crazy for everybody, we're having to approach the whole fundraising thing just a little bit different than we've done in the past. The simplest thing to do is to go ahead and buy a day pass, which gives you access to what we're about to tell you about, which is an online auction. The auction is made up of a bunch of different items donated from all kinds of folks from around the Lone Star State. Again, all proceeds go to support the Candlelighters Foundation. So this year, the crew here at Common Motor, we've decided to donate a motorcycle project experience. And let me explain what that really means. You know, we all know that we have different kinds of project bikes, and they're hard to get started, and they're hard to find the support to get them going. Well, we here at Common Motor are always about supporting our community of vintage Honda owners, and we're going to be doing that exact same thing here. So we're donating, one, a project motorcycle, this 1974 Honda CB360. It's a complete bike with title. We're also donating all of the parts needed to get this bike repaired. So we're talking battery, carb kits, shocks, tires, suspension, front end suspension parts, basically all the parts you're gonna need to get the bike up and going again, to make it your bike. Additionally, we're going to throw in an extra $500 gift certificate to the Common Motor website to help accommodate any of those odds and end pieces you might need that we haven't quite figured out yet. Additionally, we have all the resources to get the bike up and going. That means access to the YouTube channel, any online resources we have through our website, and of course, direct access to us here at the shop if you need additional technical support getting the bike going. And we have a challenge for whoever the lucky winner is. We'd like to see the bike up and running and see that winner ride the bike to Harvest Classic in person next year so we can see the progress on the project. So if you're interested in bidding on our Project Experience bike or any of the other items that are going to be in the Harvest Classic auction, you need to buy a day pass through the Harvest Classic livestream site. We'll have the link below right there. Also through that same site, you can purchase t-shirts or make another charitable donation, everything that helps the cause for the Candlelighters. Additionally, if there's anybody bidding on our Project Experience 360 here and you live out of the state of Texas, we'll happily help arrange shipping to get the bike transported to you. Just a final reminder, remember the live stream is on Saturday, October 17th, 1 to 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Again, all the links are below. Make sure you check out everything. We want to thank you for the support. It's only with everybody's support that this event can be a successful fundraiser for the charity. And we hope to see you in person next year in Luckenbach at the 2021 Harvest Classic Rally. Thanks for watching.
Go tell Aunt Mary about Uncle John. Said he got the misery, but he had a lot of fun. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Baby, having a fun tonight. Long, tall Sally, she was built for speed. She got everything that Uncle John needs. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Baby, having a fun tonight. John with bald-headed Sally. They saw him Mary coming and they ducked back in the alley. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Baby. Having a fun tonight. All right, James. Baby, whole lot of shaking going on. How's it coming along, baby? Whole lot of shaking going on. We faking, whole lot of shaking going on. Yeah, how's it coming along, baby? We got chickens in the barn. Who's born? What born? My barn. Come along, baby. We got a bull by the horn. Yeah, we faking, whole lot of shaking going on. Shake, I tell you shake, baby shake now. I tell you shake, baby shake all night now. Shake, baby shake, we ain't faking. Whole lot of shaking going on.
We're on.
All right.
Hey there. So the auction's closed. Hope you got what you were bidding on.
Yeah, we're going to be tallying up the results. Thanks everybody for participating in the auction. Hopefully it raised a bunch of money for the charity. So the next video we have is a really cool video that Alan and the crew at Revival Cycles put together for us. It's a nice kind of overview of the shop and then something really interesting with their dyno. If you haven't ever been to Revival Cycles, you should stop by. It's a really cool shop to just walk around and look at the things they have in place. They have a wide variety of bikes and then also a wide variety of capabilities. They have a full machine shop, sheet metal fab, and also an area that they do general repairs. So, and then Revival has a lot of opportunities to go check out their shop. In the non-COVID days anyway, and I'm sure they're gonna get back to that pretty quick. They did a Sunday meetup where you could get coffee, and they host a lot of parties and stuff throughout the years. So when you get an opportunity, go check out Revival. It's really a cool shop and a really kind of a creative force field, honestly, in the custom bike world.
And they've supported the rally.
Yeah, strong rally supporters.
Very strong rally supporters.
Yeah. So check out this video. You're gonna love it.
Hey guys, I'm Alan. This is Revival Cycles, and we are really pleased to be contributing to the Harvest Classic this year, 2020. Harvest Classic for me, just to share with you guys a tiny bit, means something. I was a child that was born with cancer. For you that don't know who I am, I've got goofy eyes. I've got one eye. I was born with retina cancer and my eye was removed. And it was a childhood cancer and a charity that actually helped us, or helped my mom to get me surgery. Anyway, if you don't know, Harvest Classic donates a good portion of their funds to the Candlelighters Foundation, which is for kids with cancer, and that resonates with me. Also, we're pretty much into motorcycles. My story with the Harvest Classic is that I've been going there for a very long time, maybe near the beginning, always inspired, well before I ever was in the business of motorcycles. And it most definitely played a role for me personally, seeing all the enthusiasts and all the great bikes. It's been a lot to me over the years, and we're really glad to support Harvest like we do every year, but we wanted to kind of contribute by showing you guys a little bit of our workshop and sharing with you what's going on right now and what our newest tool. What I thought I'd do is give you guys kind of a mini tour and walk you through the shop and show you our newest, best tool. We've had it for about a year and a half or so, but it's still pretty cool. So in 2010, I signed the lease on this space and we built it out. Out that way is a CNC machine shop that we built that first year. And then the second year, we took over this second bay. We built this out as the kind of main workshop area. Then Vincent's, Harleys, Gucci's, Ducatis, you name it. There's a pre-war Bruff Superior and another Triumph and another modern Guzzi. That's our fabrication area for metal shaping and machining. This is bay, we're going into bay 3 now. Back through there is the machine shop, our more machines, a welding area, and this way, if you come back here, is our new favorite tool. Not our cool new lathe, but our dyno. And what Chris is gonna do is talk to you guys about how to tune on a dyno and one of the services we offer, but more importantly, our approach to tuning motorcycles in general. You ready for that?
Let's do it.
I'm gonna leave you alone. Thanks, guys.
Hey guys, Chris Davis here in the Revival Cycles workshop. We're going to talk a little bit about dynos. We have an Axis dyno here in the workshop, and a dyno is a tool that we use, and it measures engine output. It measures how quickly a specific weight is accelerated, and you do that by basically riding a motorcycle to spin a drum. There's sensors inside of it that measure how quickly it accelerates. So the benefits of dyno tuning is it provides us with a controlled environment, so we don't have traffic, road conditions that are affecting how we're tuning or riding motorcycles. And we also have repeatable and comparable results by using horsepower and torque numbers from the engine, and then also utilizing the sensors on the dyno, such as the wideband O2 sensor, to see if our bike's running rich or lean, or what we can do to make them run better. And another added benefit is it allows us to run a motorcycle under a load. The Axis dyno that we have simulates a real road environment. It has inertia weights on the drum, which simulates load, such as riding your motorcycle down the road. And then it also has a built-in fan, and the faster the wheel spins, the more drag there is. So it recreates aerodynamic drag, such as riding at high speeds. And then the other way the fan, the airflow is utilized on the Axis dyno is the air is channeled underneath the dyno through ductwork, and the ductwork is used to blow onto the motorcycle. So when we have an air-cooled motorcycle, it actually cools the motorcycle while you're riding. Dynos are typically used to get maximum power out of modern sport bikes and race machines, but here at Revival we use them for vintage bikes. The benefit is we can actually tune and adjust the carburetors, and we're not just looking for maximum power, we're looking for the best rideability. We can control the load on the dyno itself, and then through different throttle openings we can adjust different parts. For example, different parts of the carburetor on this Vincent, we can make changes to the needle or the main jet or the idle circuit, and look at our wideband O2 sensor and see exactly where we need to add fuel or subtract fuel. One of the main reasons we have this Axis dyno was during the birdcage build, we knew we were going to have a very tight deadline. We knew that there was no fueling support, the fuel injection system we were using is not supported by BMW or anybody else. So we were going to have to start from scratch. We knew that there was going to be many, many, many hours of tuning to make the birdcage run and ride. So we invested in the dyno and then spent many hours creating fuel maps and ignition maps and testing the shifter and the driveline and just making sure that the bike would actually run and ride before we took it out on the roads. On the dyno right now, we have a 1949 Vincent Rapide. A client of ours purchased at auction several years ago. And then we went through basically the entire bike, rebuilding front suspension, the top end of the motor, replacing the camshafts, adding a Ducati clutch, and just a lot of other fit and finish details to turn it into a very reliable rider. So part of making sure that this Vincent was a good running, riding machine was getting it on the dyno and tuning it, adjusting the carburetors, making it run and ride best as it possibly can. So after doing a few dyno pulls, we can look at the data for this Vincent. One of the first things that I like to look at is the air-fuel ratio. So air-fuel ratio is a measurement of how much unburnt fuel is in your exhaust. So you typically have a range of 10-to-1 to 16-to-1. The less unburned fuel, the lower the number, the more unburned fuel. So looking at this bike, 9.6-to-1 pretty consistently, which is rich, which is very rich. But on an air-cooled motorcycle like this, less concern. The more fuel, the more cooling ability that fuel has. Now we could go back, change the main jet, and see what that does to our air-fuel ratio. So looking at the rest of the data for the dyno chart is looking at engine torque, which is this number here, and then horsepower, which is this number here. So looking at the torque first, it's a relatively flat curve. We have a bit of a dip here in the 3,000, 3,500 RPM area, and then it picks back up. Overall, it's a very flat torque curve, which is what I would expect from a 1,000cc V-twin. And then looking at the horsepower numbers, they climb pretty consistently. So there's no big dips in the horsepower curve, which is really good, and they're consistent. So we're looking at 3 different dyno runs. And again, that's the benefit of dyno tuning is we have 3 separate dyno runs to compare and see if there's any variance run to run, such as temperature or fueling issue, or as long as the numbers are relatively close, then we know the bike's running consistently. So after looking at the data for this bike, I'm very impressed with how much power it's making. It definitely is running a little rich. I'd say we change the main jet, go a little bit smaller, see how it behaves. But in conclusion, having this information that quickly without having to spend hours riding a motorcycle or guessing, making changes and then riding again is just a much faster and more efficient way to make a motorcycle more enjoyable to ride.
Now's the time of video where most people ask for money or donations or whatever. I'm not going to ask you for that. What I'm going to say to you is, if you want to see more videos and you want to learn more of what we've learned, and you want to see a deep dive into a lot of these topics, go to our website and buy something. We sell everything from motorcycle gear, helmets, motorcycle parts, specialized tools. We sell lots of things, and they've all taken us years to figure out what the best stuff is, and we figured it out. So go to revivalcycles.com. There's some really good stuff there. Everything from like kick-ass hand grips from Posh to Radiance LED lighting and everything in between. We want to teach you what we know, but this stuff takes time and it takes real effort to make these videos and make them good for you guys. So go support us by helping yourself to the cool stuff you already need. And it helps us because we make a little bit of profit and then we can justify doing more videos. Thanks for your support.
You ever heard of witch on a motorcycle?
I haven't.
It goes baroom, baroom.
Guys, this was pretty fun, I have to say. It was pretty dang fun.
I hope it was as fun to watch as it was to do.
Yeah,
Oh,
I do
absolutely.
too. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. We really appreciate you. So let's give a quick update on the auction items.
Yeah, now that the auction's closed.
Yeah, so one thing is, on the Cooler mini bike, the legendary rally volunteer Hogan, shout out to Hogan, won the Cooler mini bike. Way to go, Hogan. So on Sundays, Hogan's part of our Sunday cleanup crew. He's part of my son's crew who really, you know, is these young muscular guys who have a lot of energy, even Sunday morning. And they always help us pack up, and Hogan's a really great guy, so it couldn't have gone to a better guy. So
Always
thanks,
right
Hogan.
there in it. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, it was really cool. The project bike from Common Motor Collection went for $2,550, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
So somebody's going to get a good project bike.
In the bike show next year.
Yep. The quilt went for $725.
Nice.
Yeah, all right.
And the Igloo sidecar went for $600.
Nice.
All right. Congratulations, everybody.
Right, the pair of bicycles, the adult and child, went for $430.
And that Arai Corsair Isle of Man special helmet, it went for $455.
Somebody got a heck of a deal.
That's a great deal and a great helmet.
Harpo, how much did the XD4 go for? Got that? $495.
Okay, winners, please go and pay promptly on the pay tab.
Time to pay your tab.
Pay for your items.
Yeah, and this is a really important point. So a lot of you are watching this live stream, and so you could go to the store, you could buy t-shirts, you could bid on stuff, and we really appreciate you. But there's also a lot of you that are going to be watching this in the future. So I'm talking to future you. In the future, when you're watching this live stream, hit the PayPal button. It will still work. And it will give us money that we will funnel to the Candlelighters. So even if you're watching the live stream when it's not live, you can still get on board and help the charity, and we will be forever in your debt. So thanks.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And there's some other people that we are forever in their debt, mainly Rebecca Cunningham, who is the producer of all this. She brought the equipment, the knowledge, and really made it come together. And her company is Red Flyer Media. You can see it on our media sponsors. Also, Steve Kahn, our cameraman, videographer, editor, came through so hard. I mean, we were hitting Steve up with content left and right, a Dropbox share, a drive link, a text message, an email, you know, so much stuff. And he didn't miss a lick. He got it all. And not only the file management, but the video editing and everything was truly masterful. And another person who was really helpful is Robert Pandya, well-known legend in the motorcycle area. Robert came in with a lot of really cool guidance on how we can get the word out about it, how we can make it fun and interesting. So thanks to everybody on the production side for helping. And then we don't have the whole rally crew here because it wasn't the whole rally, so we didn't need as much help, but we have a good sampling of the rally crew here. So can we get everybody up on stage here?
Come on up.
Just come up on stage and let's take your bow.
Scott.
And just, you know, it's the rally's a family affair. You know, you probably get tired of us talking about the rally family year after year, but it is a family. It feels like a family. And, oh, don't lean against the banner. We don't want a family accident. But it really was a fun thing to put on, and it felt great being together with the crew as much as we could. And I would have my mask on right now, but it's in my truck, and we only had a minute to set up for this final shot. So, but I am taking precautions. So thanks everybody for coming.
Thank you.
Register online for next year.
We'll see you next year.
And we'll see you next year, hopefully in Lukenbach. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
Wait, who's going to turn off
Oh, and the slideshow is going to play again. So if you didn't catch the slideshow, listen up. And the intro's nice. The music is good. And thank you.
We'll see you next year.
touch it, it gives forth a sound. It's got wires that vibrate and give music. What can this thing be that I've found? See how it sings like a sad heart and joyously screams out its pain. Sounds that build high like a mountain on notes that fall gently like rain. I can't wait to share this new wonder. The people will all see its light. Let them all make their own music. The priest praise my name on this night. I know it's most unusual to come before you so, but I found an ancient miracle I thought that you should know. Listen to my music and hear what it can do. There's something here as strong as life. I know that it will reach you. Yes, we know it's nothing new. It's just a waste of time. Not no need for ancient ways. The world is doing fine. Another toy. Help destroy. Now the race of man. Forget about your silly web. It doesn't fit the plan. No, I can't believe you're saying these things just can't be true. Our world could use this beauty. Just think what we might do. Listen to my music. Hear what it can do. There's something here that's as strong as life. I wandered home through silent streets and fell into a fitful sleep. Escape to realms beyond the night. Dream, can't you show me light? I stand atop a spiral stair, and Morocco confronts me there. He leads me on light years away through astral nights, galactic days. I see the works of gifted hands that grace the strange and wondrous land. I see the hands of men arise with hungry mind and open eyes. They left our planets long ago. The elder race still learn and grow. Their power grows with purpose strong to claim the home where they belong. Home to tear the temples down. Home to change. The sleep is still in my eyes. The dream is still in my head. I heave a sigh and sadly smile and lie a while in bed. I wish that it might come to pass, not fade like all my dreams.